in a world of remakes and remasters.
Are we playing for
What was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame. Gone are the days of Pops and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel are más o menos from the same generation, and we happen to think that it's the best one out of all the generations. Not because we're better than you, but our movies certainly were. So strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore while simultaneously complaining about the utter filth that Hollywood keeps churning out of its sludge pipes on a daily basis. Have we got a show for you tonight? We're joined by Albelio, who's on the bottom, not because he's the least important, but because he doesn't use a camera, and so his face doesn't get covered up by the comments. And we got Bearded in the house, and David from Shelf Help Gaming. So close to a perfect intro. David from Self Help Gaming. I don't know if Jared's other Jared is going to be making it tonight, but no Charles, and we'll see if the angry Mexican deigns us with his presence. A whole mountain of a lot to talk about this week. But before we get to that, we got some wonderful people in the chat. We've got Jared. You're in the show. You're not in. Okay. And so, okay, we got Mark Clark, who made it back from his trip to unbreak to keep his streak of being here every week unbroken. Mark Clark is our inaugural channel member, the first one we ever had. And if you want to follow Mark's example, some people want to follow Christ, silly people. You should follow Mark's example and become a channel member. It's only 99 cents. It grants you the privilege of claiming that of becoming also technically a Mexican, and you can use that as a diversity shield. Although the left is not too keen on Mexicans recently, so we'll see how long that lasts. But you get access to members only videos, sneak peeks at songs I'm writing that only members can see for the foreseeable future, because I have no idea when my next album's dropping. And you get the comfort at night of knowing that you help feed my kids. So Joshua Templeton's in the chat. He's on time. We got Fady out of the chat, who's dual watching this and Prophet of the Dragon. I think he's playing video games tonight. Well, if this depending on which stream ends first, you might get redirected to his stream anyway. So I think I figured out how to do the redirecting. It's stupid, nice. Though. It's not in the live streaming options. You have to go to the video options that don't. It's stupid. YouTube's dumb. Yeah. We've got Jared watched a bunch of Mobland to talk about. And he wants to discuss that because he has feelings, which is rightfully so. He finally finished it. David hasn't watched a thing because he's just been watching Clarkson's Farm. And then I saw 3 movies this week in the theater on the same day. I had a marathon. I watched Sketch. I watched
Naked Gun,
the Naked Gun and Weapons. And Abelio watched most of those too, but mostly he's here to join us to
inform us.
Much like Pontius Pilate himself, wash his hands of the entire alien Earth thing. So yeah, we'll be talking a lot about that. Yeah,
I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters though.
Great.
Yeah, came home from work and
okay, so
I legitimately though have had coworkers that were sitting there like grown men.
I know.
20-year-olds, like they're
I've
like,
heard,
dude, it rocks. Like it's slap. Like it's good. Like got good music and like.
I've heard great things about it.
I was expecting it to be terrible, but it was pretty good. It was a lot deeper than I thought.
Hour of it with my niece a couple weeks ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was a while ago, but yeah.
Did I get it?
Yeah, I was worried about it,
thumbnail.
honestly. I thought they were going to go a different way with the morals, and it was actually fantastic.
Nice, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's everything on the thumbnail because I didn't watch Foundation this week. So, Albelio, how you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm gonna bash my head against a wall, but
other than having to watch Alien Earth, how you doing?
I come back from vacation thinking, man, I'll be well rested, and then a certain dude that I should probably call law enforcement on is like, hey, you should watch this show, and I'm like, you're deported.
Okay. I didn't say you should watch this show. I said, hey, are you watching this show? Because I'm 2 minutes in and I'm already confused and I need someone who knows more about the alien universe to
Dude, I laughed so hard with my girl was over here and we were watching it, and as soon as you weren't kidding, that bald cap was terrible, and I was like, oh.
The bald cap. The little girl comes on screen and she's got the fakest bald cap you've ever seen. Her head goes like this, and it's not just like straight and then boom. Like her head starts going in, so it's a bulb, and then it goes whoom. And you're like, dude, It's the worst bald cap ever. But obviously, you don't want to make a child shave their head for a role. But like, I feel like it's not that hard to get the hair to stick down further than that, right?
Does the child actors have dreadlocks or something under there?
No.
I don't know. Considering what they got to have some of the kids do at the end of a certain movie we'll get to, I feel like she could have shaved her hair.
Yeah. Well, and also you think about going back to like Stranger Things, you've got Millie Bobby Brown shaved her head.
Yeah. That was a commitment. But
yep.
Fabian didn't mind Alien Earth. Not a fan of the Xeno looks. Yeah, it's like a little baby. It's a little baby Xeno
too.
Okay. Before we get into it, I didn't hate it, but I was really confused and really frustrated with a lot of the choices, and I was mostly kind of just bored the whole time. So, Mark, you just got home. Good for you, Konichi, Shadow Master, Konichiwa. Yes. I'm not going to say that other word because I'm a good Christian boy. Anyway, Albelio.
that's Shadow, all right.
Before we get sidetracked and end up arguing for 10 hours because you fight me on everything, do you have anything to plug for your channel?
Yeah, just my YouTube, Albelio on YouTube, ALBELEO, and I'm same thing on Twitter. Okay. Where I tend to complain about things too.
Yeah.
Usually politicians.
That's why I like you. Mark Clark sent us $1.99. There's an app you can use to call ICE on Alan. Yes, see, but I'm only technically a Mexican. I also have citizenship. So.
Yeah, technically, this is just a round trip.
Yeah. Okay, I literally just walked in the house.
Yep.
I was helping David move some furniture, and then I was at a wedding, and now I'm here.
Nice.
There's
another wedding, huh?
I have like 4 panels of news.
Wow.
It's not so because I just wasn't on the internet this week.
Yeah.
I also just walked in the house coming back from a volleyball tournament, so that's fine.
But I do want to ask, for my homies who went to the movies, did you guys see the Google ad in your theaters? not all theaters show ads, which I hate. Some of them just stick to trailers, but it's the Google. I think it's for Google Gemini, but like the premise of the actual ad. Hold on, let me pull this up because I got to rant about
Probably
this.
seen it, but
I've got to rant about this for a hot second, because the first time I saw it, I was furious, and it turns out a lot of other people are too.
Oh yeah, we got that for Naked Gun.
Okay. The actual the premise of the ad, I think, is actually quite clever. I don't think it's a bad ad. It's a when Mark Clark was 6 years old, he had Google at his fingertips and he could Google everything, and it shows him Googling the stupid thing, like stupid cat video, and then like James Blunt music video, and it pulls up "You're Beautiful" and starts playing that song. Okay, and then there's a tonal shift, and he grows, and he's like 40 years old now. It's like, and now he has Gemini. Google is still on his side, helping him find things, and it shows him type in James Blunt anniversary tour. He's like, hey Gemini, what's something I can do? I'm in town for one night. What's something I can do that's on a low budget, and it gives him suggestions. And he says, "Oh, James Blunt anniversary tour. That's a tour. That's a callback to the music video I like." He goes to a James Blunt concert. And in that halfway point when he grows up, the music shifts. It starts playing a different song. Okay. Spoilers. He goes to the James Blunt concert, and there's a girl standing there, and they smile, and like, oh, like it was like Google helped him find a girlfriend and go to a cool concert. Except the problem is the song that is playing is not James Blunt. They start playing "She's So High" by Tal Bachman.
Yeah.
From Bachman Turner Overdrive, taking care of business, you know, and he had a solo album where he did "She's So High Above Me, She's So Low." Okay, it's a very good song, but it's not James Blunt. James Blunt had another song called "High," but it's not "She's So High."
You don't have to be so blunt about it.
For an ad, and if your ad is about Google presenting you information and it's giving you the wrong information, it's a bad ad.
Yeah, I agree. I bet they had a different soundtrack lined up, and James Blunt probably didn't approve it. No, so they had to change it.
No, because they play "You're Beautiful" in the first half of the ad.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do.
Yeah,
that's weird.
If a girl sees a dude unaccompanied at a James Blunt concert, she's assuming he's gay.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how badly it messed me up. I was furious. I turned to my wife and I said, "That's not James, that's Tal Bachman." And everyone in the theater turned around and like, "What are you talking?" And I'm like, "That's not a James Blunt song." And then I had to watch the same trailer 3 times in the same day. So, or the same commercial.
Yeah. I love that everybody turned and looked at you like, "Are you kidding?" Like, no.
No! I'm like, "That's Tal Bachman!"
That tells me so much worse, because that means that no one in the theater understood the songs.
Okay. I'm sure Albelio had it way worse watching Alien Earth, but I had to rant for a second.
Yep.
Okay.
There's another AI ad too. I don't know if it's for Gemini or not, but it's like a whole bunch of kids asking questions that they should already know, like stupid questions, and then it goes into like, "Hey, you should do this to cheat on your test or get the answers for your test," or some crap like that. Like, what are you trying to advertise? These are things that people are criticizing about AI. The people are being stupid. They can't answer their own questions. And they're just getting them off of AI.
Like, it's funny because
No.
like they couldn't have it couldn't be a worse commercial if it was being parodied. Like that's
Right.
that's the joke that people always do. Like, oh hey, okay Siri, play Electric Light Orchestra. Now navigating to live electrocutions. Like like.
Yeah.
Now driving to the local penitentiary. Navigating. See,
Yeah.
More pictures of spaghetti. More pictures of the Serengeti.
yeah. It's
Across
literally
that.
that, but they did it themselves.
Right.
It was like the audio casino like slot machine that was LimeWire for a while.
Yep.
Okay, the rest of the news is just about James Gunn and Superman. If you guys want to complain about that, or we can get right into a show. What do you guys want to do?
Well, since I haven't watched anything, let's do the news first.
All
Sounds
right,
like a good idea.
it'll be real fast.
Yep.
Okay, the first film of the MCU and the first film of the new DCU box office compared. Wow. Superman's doing really, really good. It got the same amount of money as Iron Man. Except that Iron Man came out 20 years ago, and this is worth twice as much.
Only 17 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and honestly,
Also,
even-
like, people are
even
people
if-
forgetting that like the MCU started off really freaking small.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I was
Iron
gonna
Man
say-
is a fantastic movie, but it wasn't super popular.
Well, and that's the thing is even if we don't like because last week like even ignoring the idea of trying to adjust for inflation, this is Iron Man kicking off a new superhero craze that started. So this was the beginning of that, roughly, versus
Yeah.
something that is now 20 years into a superhero craze. 17. 17.
Superman is out. Had a digital release yesterday, which
Yep.
is that 4 weeks?
Yes.
That is crazy. And what's even crazier is that James Gunn pushed for an
excused for
early
it?
release.
Which actually like pushed it up.
This was not the plan. It was not supposed to come out this early, which means they're conceding. I mean, the excuse that he's giving is, "Oh, I don't want it to compete with Peacemaker, a streaming show."
Well, if anything, it makes more sense that he's saying that he wants it to promote, like to somehow like connect in and tie
Yeah,
in. Or
but the real reason is it didn't make enough money, and if they do an early digital release, they can recuperate some of that because
they
people
can
will
hope to get a little bit of money.
people will
from
be
it.
willing to pay a little bit more since it's so early. Except that it totally screws the theaters.
And it never does nearly as well as what they could get from the theaters. Even what
it's-
they get from the theaters, let alone now the theaters get nothing.
It's not just it's not just that it's out early so people aren't going to watch it. It specifically screws theaters because I'm friends with a guy, a theater manager now. So I'm asking him questions all the time about the industry, and theaters get the opening weekend. Theaters get pennies.
Nothing.
They get like 1%. I'm hyperbole, right? They get like 1% of the revenue, and the longer a movie stays in theaters, the bigger percentage the theaters get to keep.
Yeah.
And so to give them Superman and then pull the rug out and say, "Oh nope, now it's released digitally," even though that wasn't the plan, that sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
Especially how much the theaters are already struggling. You know, ticket prices are spiking up. There's not as much attendance. We've recovered somewhat since since COVID and whatever, but people just don't have the money to go see movies all the time. I would have loved to see all these movies. I haven't had the chance or the funds.
Yeah. The thing that I had heard at one point in time is that it used to be something like, and I'm probably off on the numbers, but like 70% that opening weekend went to the studios and 30% to the theaters, and like over time it swaps over. But then I did hear that who really pushed to the boundary on that even more was George Lucas for the prequels. He started saying, if you want to carry the Phantom Menace, you're going to give us 90% that first weekend, and like so now it's like
Now that's the standard.
I don't know if that's necessarily the standard, but it's definitely like pushed it even further away from the theaters for that opening weekend.
Yeah, Grok says basically $1 billion.
To shamelessly plug my video, a few years ago I did a video breaking down like there's generally two ways that companies that movie theaters do get their movies into the theaters. If it isn't a more money up front and less money over time deal, then it's usually just a 50-50 split, and the theater has to basically get paid first, the company gets paid afterwards. And there's other ways that a lot of these studios, movie theaters, do deals to get movies into their theaters. And I don't see how you could possibly look at this as a win, because they're like, Iron Man had no hype behind it. Superman has all the hype. Yeah. Iron Man started the hype craze.
Yeah.
Superman's trying to resurrect it and keep it alive. Yeah. And then you have the hype of a restart to the DC universe, which is not a good thing for it to be at this point.
I was going to say it's actually that's kind of working against it, because it's like trying to restart off of a very unsuccessful.
And on top of that, Iron Man wasn't supposed to be like, oh, this is the start of our cinematic universe. That like they just made Iron Man, it did really well, and said, hey, maybe let's make more.
They made Iron Man and said, hey, let's toss in a tease that maybe we can do more.
Just in case.
Exactly.
It wasn't supposed to be like, no, this is
This is
we're gonna go for it. Yeah.
It's also important to note
it was from Iron Man that even became a thing.
Right.
It's also important to note that Iron Man didn't cost $300 million to make.
Yeah, at some point soon, I want to make a video on arguments that just frustrate me. Like, haha, you're wrong, it's super popular, or haha, it made X amount of money, so therefore it's a success. And it's like, are you not multiplying by 2?
Yeah.
Like, goodness.
I don't know if you. Okay. I was gonna say I don't know if you could pay me money to watch War of the Worlds with Ice Cube in it, but if you left a big enough super chat, I'd do it.
I heard it's so bad.
I am very curious to see how terrible it is, because it sounds like even people like me, who generally are pretty forgiving about it, almost anything, are being like, "Wow, this is terrible."
We did watch the Amazon ad clip though, where he gets his USB stick. We watched that on the show, right?
I wasn't here for it. If you did,
I don't remember.
Maybe I just showed my wife. Maybe we didn't talk about it on the show. Yeah.
Hey, what you do with your wife is private. Leave us out of it.
I know I showed. I could have sworn we watched it on here. It's hilarious. It's literally just a walking Amazon ad. Oh no! The only way I can stop the aliens is if I download this code onto a USB drive. I don't have a USB drive. I'm stuck in a secure government facility. They don't allow that stuff. Hey, Dad, all you need to do is go on Amazon.com and I can mail you a USB drive. Like, I can't wait for the mail. No, Dad, Amazon's been training me for this. I'm going to use Amazon Air. And he pulls out a drone. I can fly it straight to you onto the secure government site. But it's so funny. He's like, no, but you have to place an order or the drone can't be activated. So then he pulls up a screen, goes to Amazon, buys a USB drive, and there's like, okay, that turned the drone on. Now I can send it to you.
That's somehow easier than just bringing your own freaking thing to a place that you're not supposed to have it. That somehow a drone flying into a secure military facility.
Yeah, but there is no universe in which you wouldn't be able to switch the drone on unless an order was received. And who's to say that Ice Cube's Amazon order is going to be the one that gets sent to his son? It makes no sense. So
they ensure that it is, because it's just a pair of Jordans.
Okay.
Wow.
Does the current day status of the MCU affect watching the older stuff now?
It'll make you cry because of how much better it was.
Honestly, what it does, it it made Thor 2: The Dark World a good movie. I rewatched that recently and I was like, we complained about this? Like, yeah, it's not great, but oh wow. I would have taken this. I would have taken this over the Marvels, man.
Isn't it crazy how like like generally we like there are like genuinely good movies, right? First Iron Man, first Captain America, the first Avengers movie, like genuinely solid good movies. Most of the films are actually like middling or like low mid-tier, and the worst we had was Thor 2, Captain Marvel, and Black Panther. And then they were like, oh look, there's a 10th circle of hell. And they dived in and it kept going. And now we're at
I was pretty mad at Ant-Man too, because they fired Edgar Wright, and and he's one of my favorite directors, so I could see the seams in the script. Like, oh, Edgar wrote this scene and then he didn't write this scene. So that pissed me off. But it still was a good movie because he was involved, but like because I like him so much, it hurt.
I will also
the potential of what that one could have been.
I will also agree with you a little bit that like the movies that we're getting now aren't so much worse than the ones that we used to get. They're just a little bit worse, and the fact that those were new and fresh and like actually like being able to see nerd stuff on screen the way that we were for the first time, like they were all fresh, made them more appealing to us, more exciting for us. And now looking back at them with a little bit of nostalgia keeps them a little bit fresher for us. Whereas now it's like, you're not doing anything more. You're not doing anything better. You're not making it better.
Yeah.
On top of that too, though, like it's a bad film, but it's also woke. Like everyone says, like it's not that these movies are bad because they're woke. It's that they're bad and they're also woke. So like you don't even want to forgive them. Because like with Thor, and now like watching Thor 2, it's like, yeah, this is a bad movie, but like I see what they were going for, you know, and so you forgive a lot more. But then if in a bad movie that's also beating you over the head with messaging, you're just like, well, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Let's be clear too. Just because we look at things that came before in a more positive light because of how bad things are does not mean that they get a pass for everything.
Yeah.
Like the prequels. The Star Wars prequels are still crap, but
Massively
they are significantly better than the sequel trilogy.
You can still like flawed movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's really what it is to me. Is not that makes it so you forgive the other stuff, but it to me colors a little bit of like how critical we can be now is fueled by the fact that like we've had it better. We've had it this good before, and we're not improving. We're not fixing the mistakes of the past or those kinds of things where it's like, it doesn't make me forgive the past more, but it makes me realize that since I was okay with it in the past, I can at least be okay with it now, even though I can still, I'm now at a point where I'm more able to and aware to criticize the things that I didn't necessarily know about back then. And I can look at those and say, yeah, those have a lot of the same flaws or some of those same flaws. These ones do too. I like those ones. I can still like these ones and still criticize the flaws, but yeah.
Okay. Did you guys watch the behind the scenes footage with James Gunn and David Cornsquet?
Oh is he wearing the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern suit, or is that something else?
He's wearing the Grinch. He is now he skinned the Grinch and he's wearing
he pelted Jim Carrey.
Has anybody already seen this?
I have not. No.
Okay, it's
what
interesting.
Is this?
Let's do this first then. Okay. Just because I'll have to switch the audio. This is a report that a lot of the people, the high ups in Warner Brothers, are not happy with James Gunn, not even because of the performance of the movie, but because he won't shut up. Yeah, so his online behavior is becoming more and more annoying, and it's hurting things more than help. This is exactly what I was saying before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps opening his mouth and making me not want to watch his movie. And I'm on right. I liked the movie. It's massively flawed, but I enjoyed watching it. He's wearing a granny sweater. But he just keeps saying stupid things. He came out and said this is an inherently political movie about an illegal immigrant. And then for some reason he made them the movie about his parents telling him to destroy the country he was going to move to.
Don't you love when they make they have no concept of what they're trying to tell us in the video?
Yeah,
like
that's
what was,
okay. That's what this is. This confused me a lot. I and we'll get to that. But yeah, it's like when he explains himself, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's like Doctor Strange 2. It's like, here's America Chavez, and she's a Hispanic, but you have this illegal immigrant from these different universes go into others, and they risk being completely destroyed. And it's like, what is the movie trying to tell me?
Yep, and that was a part that pissed me off.
She steals from every universe she travels to. What? Money? That's a concept I've never heard of. And oh man,
yeah, that scene I did a whole scene. The Pizza Papa cameo that pissed me off because she was stealing from him, and Doctor Strange assaulted the man.
Like, it still doesn't piss me off to the same degree that it does you, but I agree with your point. In spite of the fact that I took it as a comedy, but yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, didn't even pay the man,
And then they keep her, and now there's a risk the entire universe is going to collapse. It's like, all right, I get what this movie's telling me.
She hasn't been listed in the cast for Avengers Doomsday yet. They haven't said her name yet, and everyone's like, this is a multiverse movie, and you don't have America Chavez? What's going on?
Specifically, that their power is to travel between universes. Yeah.
Hey, Eligard, how you doing?
Had more of a point about alternative timelines than most of the... Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and I keep saying I've said it several times that I think that multiversal stuff is really boring and removes the stakes, but that might just be any time we've seen multiverse in media, because there are actually some comics where it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But and I will say that Invincible, it hasn't ruined that aspect of Invincible hasn't ruined Invincible for me yet, because they're kind of shying away from it a little. But I could very well get tiring. But
if I'm being honest, when it comes to the multiverse, in MCU, it hasn't made the stakes not insignificant for me, but it has been one of those things where it's the problem is that they've barely done anything with it. They keep claiming that they're doing, but they've barely done anything with it, and what they've done with it has been so very
inconsistent
and inconsistent too, and confusing in that way that to me it's not that the stakes aren't there, because people talk about oh no, Gamora died, no, she's back. Well, they actually had a whole storyline where this is a different person and a whole thing with it. So whether you like that or not, it actually had a point and purpose to the multiverse stuff going on.
Yeah.
But that was the most multiverse story that they actually had. Because other than that, they haven't really done a whole lot of, we're going to take a person from a different multiverse and put them in here. No, not really. Yeah. They've flashed through a handful of universes, and that's it.
Yep.
So this is the fun part, though. And this so these comments happened after the stuff that these comments where they find him annoying happened after he keeps talking about Batman 2, which isn't even his movie, and he keeps putting pressure on Matt Reeves, right? Saying things about the movie that might not even be true. And he's like, stop talking about it.
Which comes out first, Winds of Winter or Batman 2?
Well, apparently the script's done, so we'll see.
Good thing I didn't make a bet then.
Okay, and then the rest of this was caught on a hot mic from
it's a YouTube channel show called The Hot Mic.
No, yeah, okay, right.
It's not.
Thanks.
It wasn't somebody had a hot mic and got overheard or anything like that. That's the.
So he said this. This isn't a rumor. He said, "I don't give a crap what James Gunn says anymore. The guy's the most annoying studio head I've ever heard of, or met, or seen, or anything. I don't think it's winning him any fans. I don't think it's winning him any fans on the Warner Brothers lot." where I know people find his antics to be annoying, and then made fun of him. He's
Yikes.
like, look, your movie is barely going to make 600 million. Take that W and shut up. Go focus on reading the scripts and making the movies, because it seems you get paid a lot of money to spend a lot of time on Blue Sky and Threads.
Yeah, this guy Jeff Snyder, he's wellish known for like not giving a crap. Like he like lost his job a couple of times at different like places because of him like just opening up on Twitter and just being like, screw this, or whatever. So yeah, that's very consistent.
That's what they fired James Gunn from Disney for.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got hired back, and then he got hired at DC. So you'd think he'd be, a little more careful. But
he was a little bit different than that. What he got fired for was more different things from before.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So they've been releasing, because with the digital release, they've been releasing a whole bunch of clips from the movie, but then they also released this behind the scenes footage, and it's a lot of people are claiming, it's James Gunn arguing with Corn Sweat over the character, and they're not getting along, and then Corn Sweat storms off because that's not what's happening. Okay, he's getting instruction from the director, and then he gets the point, and he turns around and walks off to do the scene. Okay, but none of what James Gunn is saying is making any sense, and it makes the scene in this movie way worse.
Oh, no.
He's seeing the explanation for it. It's gobbledygook.
He starts saying,
You guys hear?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so context is Corn Sweat comes up to him and says, I don't think this scene is working. I don't understand what I'm trying to do here.
He starts saying, I don't know if I feel this.
The whole crew's sitting around waiting like, come on, let's shoot, let's get this done. So finally I walked off set and to talk to him in person.
He came in and came off set, and we get into this thing.
So great, but am I just demonstrating? So if I say that's what it is to be human, that feels like I'm trying to prove it still, as opposed to I really know it.
I think there's a little bit of,
okay,
but there's because
let me try
because
that.
The emotions are always lingering.
But isn't there something I felt like shit about myself since the recording came out. It's just been like, I don't belong, I'm shit, everything's a lie, I'm not who I thought I was. When is this not the moment where I go, I was wrong to feel that way?
That's exactly where the issue is, right? Because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way. There are feelings and there are thoughts. Your feelings about feeling bad are okay. It's not wrong for you to feel that way. You should it's not right or wrong anything. None of it is right or wrong. All of it is being vulnerable and being human, being a human being. And in this moment, for you to talk about how it's okay to be vulnerable, you have to be vulnerable, which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt in the point when you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Did any of that make sense?
I think I get where he's going to, but yeah, it was
But he didn't answer his question though.
Yeah. I think at the end where he got to the you're trying to show Lex that it's okay to be vulnerable, I think was his answer.
Right. But that wasn't what he was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was saying he literally says, is because this is the point where like my character, has, either a flash of brilliance or is coming to an emotional crux, right? He's saying, I felt bad about this and I'm doing this thing. And he's like, yeah, that's the thing. He didn't say that your feelings were your thoughts and your thoughts were part of the thing that you didn't like. He literally doesn't answer the question.
Yeah.
I think he walked away because he's like, okay, I'm just going to go act because I don't know what the heck he wants from me.
Yeah, maybe. And I do think that probably a lot of the frustration that's in him right there is the emotion that he's trying to bring to the scene anyway, because that's very similar to the emotion that he's bringing to that scene anyway. But
Right.
Oh, chaotic nonsense.
But yeah, you're right. He came to him with a specific thing. It's like, how should I be acting this out? And
let me hear the question again. It was
feel that way.
That's exactly where the issue.
Okay, it's
wrong. I'm shit. Everything's a lie.
Okay, so the stupid video, which is the worst part of the movie. Oh, my parents told me to have a harem and take over the world. Okay, so I found out that the video was that I didn't have the full truth about my parents, and I've been feeling bad about it, but I've also been feeling bad that Lex Luthor aired my dirty laundry in public, before I even had a chance to see it. So I've been feeling like garbage. He hurt my feelings, and he's telling me that I'm not human.
It's been like, I don't belong, I'm shit, everything's a lie, I'm not who I thought I was. When is this not the moment where I go, I was wrong to feel that way?
So he's trying to ask.
He's asking the question of should Superman feel conflicted, or should he accept more of his purpose from his parents? And then James Gunn pulls a gun, and it's like, all right.
That's exactly the thing, and I'm going to explain nothing about it.
That's exactly where the issue is, right? Because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way.
Who?
Lex
Luthor?
I think they're saying that Lex didn't tell him that he should feel that it was wrong to feel that way.
It doesn't make, if it's his dad, that doesn't make sense. If it's Lex Luthor, that doesn't make sense either. No one told you it was wrong to feel that way.
What he didn't tell you was it was.
Maybe he is saying that your dad didn't say it's wrong to feel that way, but that you need to still know that you're okay, regardless of it's okay to have felt bad, but then you need to go on and still be like, I felt bad, and now I'm going to go do something else. I don't know. It makes some sense to me. It is very convoluted.
If you want, this is the scene where he's giving his rant. He gives his speech about, look, no, I am human. I feel things. You're more alien than me, but I don't really love Superman whining about his feelings. Anyway, the internet was talking all about that this week, so I thought we should at least cover it. And I just don't understand James Gunn at all.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a wild rant, heated argument between the two, as the headline suggests.
It was a weird, it's a weird thing for them to have put that out that way.
Yeah,
because like I said, I do think that's probably mostly he's still trying to figure it out, and he's also pulling in the emotions that he's going to be trying to feel there. So he's probably not as upset with James as he seems like he is there. It's not as much of an argument between them, but at the same time, you're just trying to figure this out, and you're trying to have a discussion. Yeah, it seems like a weird thing to put forward. See, we got along great. See us arguing. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's all of the news that I have for this week. What do we want to fight about first?
Well, we could probably do a quick thing on how your thoughts were on Sketch. You said you had one thing that you thought would have fixed a lot of it.
Yeah, I think we could, even though you guys haven't watched Aliens, right? It's just Albelio and I.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
We could. There's nothing really to spoil about the show.
About Alien.
There's no twists or anything, right?
And I'm not so worried about it that I'd be worried even if you did. So yeah.
But even if we talked about the entire details of the show, it's an alien and it's on Earth. So
that's why it's called Alien Earth.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a prequel, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, you start on that.
My lady made a really funny joke. It would be hilarious if it was Alien Earth and the ship crashed in Mexico. And then a Yautja shows up and starts hunting them all down.
Okay. So I'm so very confused about okay, the actual plot that the show presented is not what's confusing. I'm confused about how this show even exists, because the show takes place 2 years before Alien, correct?
Yeah, because it's 2120, something like that. It's real close.
And the movie takes place in 2122. Alien 1. Okay. So I'm not an expert. I really enjoy the movies. I've seen every single movie one time. I haven't rewatched them. I want to rewatch them, okay? But I'm just going off of my memory, and I think I watched them all within the last 2 years, okay?
Sure.
The first movie is Ripley and her crew in a spaceship. They just randomly... Is it on a planet or a spaceship? It's a planet, right?
Ripley and Dallas, Captain Dallas and the crew are on their way back to Earth. They're hauling the minerals in their ship. On the way back, they get a message from the company that Ash receives. The company sent them to go and check out this SOS on this planet.
It was a spaceship that had crashed on a planet, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the ship that had crashed and has the hundreds of hundreds of the ovomorphs, which are the eggs, and then everything goes tits up.
So their company randomly, or maybe that's the point of this TV show. It wasn't random. Okay, maybe. Okay, whatever. We haven't finished the show. We don't know where it's ending. But the company randomly receives a distress call from a crashed ship, and they say, hey, you're on the way, go find it. So they've basically randomly found a spaceship in space, and it has this alien species on it that no one has ever encountered before, right?
Correct.
Like, no one knows anything about this species, and that's why it's so scary. They don't know what they're facing. Now, the audience has seen 100 alien movies, so the audience knows what we're facing. But
yes,
the world doesn't. Presumably, that crashed spaceship found the eggs on a planet somewhere, put them on the spaceship, and then when Ripley's team gets there, they get a face hugger, and then they get a chest burster, and then they get an alien, and they fight it.
Yeah, the original Alien left a lot of information vague, which is a lot of the reason why there's even among diehards there's a big schism between, like, Alien is the only Alien movie and Aliens and Onward are stupid, because the xenomorphs effectively inspired the Tyranids and the Zerg because they just turned them into stupid bugs.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know about it, there's a deleted scene where Ripley finds Captain Dallas strung up in the gook on the wall, and it's
a deleted scene from Alien 1.
Correct.
Okay.
So in Alien 1, Ripley finds Captain Dallas in a deleted scene, and he is being digest is the wrong word, but basically he's being broken down and turned into an ovomorph, an egg.
Okay.
That's how the alien originally used to continue its species. Now, this is one way. It's not canon necessarily, but that's basically how it was.
Right.
James Cameron is the one who turned them into bugs by doing the whole beehive ant farm kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Good night,
but
Mark.
There was so much. Have a good night, Mark. There was so much information that was left open. For example, the message being like, go down and check this SOS. There's more detail to that in the computer room for Mother, the operating system of the ship, that that Ripley goes in to read and finds, like, crew expendable, et cetera, which leaves a lot of mystery open for you to be like, wait, how did the company know about the creatures? Did they know about it? It's a really good question to ask, draws you in. That's it.
So there is precedent for a prequel like this. Humans, at least the company knowing about the aliens, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I was confused because I thought they just randomly found this ship, and then the TV show opens with they're on a ship. There's a crew with a ship, and they have a whole bunch of facehuggers and eggs and a bunch of other alien specimens. And I was like, I thought that this was the first time we'd seen them. So okay. So there could exist a universe where at least the first scene of the TV show doesn't break canon, right?
It depends on if you go with the comics or not, because some of the comics.
Oh, comics!
Hold on. Let me be clear. Let me be very clear. A lot of the comics suck. Like, so many of them have such ridiculous stories, and like when we saw the T-1000 cyborg arm over here, I really like Aliens. The problem is, and this is a problem with the entire series, is the power scaling, right? Because, like, in Alien 1, it's one alien, and she's like
invincible to everything. And then Aliens 2, they're just popping them left and right, you know. But
the M134 pulse rifles fire armor-piercing rounds, so even if they have silicone-based carapaces, they'd still be able to puncture them. But that's why they also counterbalanced with, if you splatter them, they make acid, and if
it's fun.
Yeah, so like there is a bit of scaling that still works, but you're talking military grade versus a bunch of truckers who couldn't even figure out how to make a flamethrower work. So I buy it.
I like Aliens. Aliens was good. The problem with the show is that they wanted a captured xenomorph back to Earth for captivity. Okay. Yeah. Well, here's the other problem with the show. So there's a random ship and it crash lands on Earth.
Ironically hitting the second tower. Dude,
really?
Come on.
We're just moving right along. The show starts with I do like that the show like didn't show any of that happen. It showed you this crew, and then the next time you see it, it's already crashed, and they're exploring the ship, and you kind of get to piece together the story, which because you've seen so many alien movies, you can imagine what happened on the ship, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good move to show you the ship, and then show you the next time you see them, everyone's dead. I thought there was a clever way of just not doing the same thing again and again, right? But
built-in fast forward button.
If you wanted to have a show where a xenomorph crash lands on Earth, why not make the show a sequel to Alien Resurrection, where an alien crash lands on Earth?
I think that a lot of people want to stay away from Resurrection as much as possible. And I don't blame them.
It's the Disney Star Wars problem where they're like, okay, let's just keep rehashing the Luke days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Adrian, the ship crashes down at full speed, doesn't implode, doesn't anything of that nature. It actually crashes into New Siam because old Siam was old and needed a software update. It crashes into a pair of buildings, hence the joke, and it's now sinking for some reason. I never got an answer out of that one. But I'm
just saying, if you need the premise of the setup of your TV show to be an alien crash lands on Earth, it would be so much easier to not screw up the canon if you just make it a sequel, because then you can do whatever the heck you want. But they're like, oh no, turns out there were aliens on Earth before the first Alien movie ever existed.
Yeah, they're doing the AVPR thing where the aliens were always like on Earth, basically. Because at the end of AVPR, Weyland Yutani got a hold of the plasma caster and one or two other pieces of Wolf's equipment. Wolf being the main predator from AVPR, and
then why
presumably
did they
how they got the technology.
Then why did they come from a spaceship then?
I think AVPR implies that the technology from Wolf is how they made the leap forward to get into space and become the like world's superpower, as it were, as a company. But this one takes place in 2120, so we're a century in the a century and change in the future, and it's just breaking canon already, because when you're put in cryo sleep, so is the chest burster.
Yeah.
Not these ones, because the chest bursters already broke out, and it's just like, oh, cool, great. We're just breaking rules left and right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I was kind of just half paying attention anyway, because it was just confusing. There were, I think it had good ideas, like the whole the synthetics and the having kids in the. I thought that was a fun angle, but like I don't think the show has done anything interesting. So you can tell me all of the bad things, and I'll probably just agree.
Well, we're 2 episodes in, so I'm more than willing to admit, like, some of the complaints or questions we have might be wrong and may it's a long shot, but may be corrected later. So that's fine. I don't like that we're in the past and by 2 years, and the technology is light years ahead of where we were 2 years later.
Why isn't it a sequel? that's
exactly.
Yep.
It's like what Prometheus did with its ship.
A lot of people didn't like Alien Resurrection. I thought it was way better than Alien 3. It was campy, kind of fun, really stupid, but it was fine. Okay.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Alien Resurrection is better than Alien 3.
That's interesting. Okay.
It was fun. It was dumb. It was dumbed down. I didn't think it was much stupider than Aliens. Right? Aliens gets a little silly, but it's fun. This one gets a little more silly. But okay, so sorry, the point was okay, if you watched as a teenager, you'd be bored with it. And that's the problem with the thing that I liked about it was not showing any of the action which was a clever narrative decision, also made it really boring. And then they did the same thing for episode 2. What kept happening in the show was there was a whole lot of the alien off screen killing a whole bunch of people, and then when it gets to the main character and decides to take its time. It happened like 6 times, and I was like, and the killing off screen would happen in literal seconds. And you're like, how did it do that? That makes no sense. It killed a room full of like 30 people having a party, and there's no time skip. It happens in real time. It killed 30 people inside of a house.
There needs to be more fleshed out here.
15 seconds, and then the guy walks in and everyone's dead?
Yeah, this is supposed to be a hilarious moment that will have you on the floor laughing harder than the Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Because these people are on like the 60th floor of this tower they got crashed into by the ship. No one decided to run with the klaxons blaring or anything else of the nature, and they're all exaggerated in their dress up, which is like colonial, almost like colonial wigs and everything else. They look like the over the top fashion from the more wealthy people of Pirates of the Caribbean, makeup and all. Yeah. Right. And the guy comes out and is like, I don't know what's going on here, but you will not. Yes, I'm an aristocrat. Allow me to twirl my wig and I will go back in the room. And then somebody with a gun continues to forget how to use said gun, gets killed. He opens the door and goes, woo, and runs back in. Yeah. And the alien mulches these people. Like, dude, people are in half.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah,
like they're like, I get like Alien has like its moments of gore because it's meant to be visceral and impactful, but this thing leaves these people looking like the soldiers in the elevator scene from The Cabin in the Woods.
Right, and wouldn't they would in the Alien sometimes like brings back people alive, right, and cocoons them up.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do because
that happens in Alien. You said there's a deleted scene with the in the first one, but it happens in Aliens, and it happens in
in almost
Romulus.
All of them.
Your favorite
even in
Alien movie?
Yeah.
I will say this TV show is no Alien Romulus. Okay. No, we can't get into it.
I'm already buying a ticket to Utah.
It was fun. Alien Romulus was fun.
I hate how people who are trained in firearms forget how firearms work when they see this thing sprinting at them. I hate how this thing decided to literally and all those people in the party, a lot of them died in character. like they're in their chairs, like holding teacups,
Yes.
and like they're just ripped in half and everything. I'm like, how did you do this?
Yeah,
Like,
I will push back
nobody
against.
ran.
I'll push back against Joshua here though, because the guy, the guy in charge who lets them go, has no idea that there's a vicious alien on the ship. It's just, and you have to, you have to test the waters sometimes. You can't let them live in isolation. For the reference, it's a bunch of kids whose consciousnesses have been transferred into synthetic bodies, but they were kids who were terminally ill. So they're like 12 years old, put into adult robot bodies. Okay. And they've been learning in the compound for a long time, testing their strength. And I was like, okay, let them go rescue people on a crashed spaceship, right? They don't know there's aliens yet until episode 2. So yeah, and that is kind of fun that it's a bunch of kids who are scared of monsters fighting aliens. But I feel like at some point they would like, okay, no, like we need to get out of here. You kids are 12.
I despise that they have all these kids going into a situation where they're probably going to be dead bodies, and now you're going to scar these kids mentally.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Now that you have a bunch of retarded robots, congratulations. Like, I just don't understand why we have to keep doing even things that Alien Romulus did. Like at this point, only 2 hours in, I regret to say that I'm hesitant to say that Romulus is actually better so far. But they're also like, see, there are multiple synthetics throughout all of the different lore and everything else in the comics and a bunch of the novels and yada yada yada. But there are not so many different things that they have superpowers. This is not a thing. This is new to Alien.
Yeah, when she dropped down from the cliff, I was like, "What?" The robot in Alien got like ripped in half real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the movie
when
it's flailing around on the ground and spewing his milk blood.
Milk.
So good.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, so the show's about how bad Colonialism is. I was really confused by the whole. There's 5 companies. There's the synths and the cyborgs, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this stuff from Alien movies. I thought there were humans and robots, and that was it.
Yeah, basically.
Again, and if you want to introduce 5 new companies, have it be a sequel where it would make sense.
Yeah, somehow
it literally solves all of this show's problems.
Mm-hmm. You could have 5 companies that then eventually get all wrapped up into the one, or bought out, or lose to the other one.
And I hate that it's a Zoomer that's this new trillionaire barefoot Timothy Chalamet knockoff. Like,
I did kind of like his conversation in episode 2 where she's like, why are you doing this? And she's like, I just want to finally have an interesting conversation. I thought it's a very arrogant. I hope that they're going to show this character die gruesomely, but I thought that was an interesting characterization of a trope that is frequently annoying.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. I don't know if anyone here has seen the Baki anime where all the villains break out and they're like, we want to experience defeat, because they're all like ultimate badasses, right? And it's like this kid wants to do that intellectually, and I'm like, okay, I appreciate the concept, but can we just fast forward to your death? Like, like that's just far more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you remember when Wendy jumped off the cliff? Like how bad that green screen was?
Yeah, it was a huge cliff too. Like
yeah. She like steps off like a 200-foot cliff, and she must have landed, I don't know, like from like a 3-foot ledge, barely bends her knees, and she's like, I'm ready to go.
Of sand.
Yeah, she's totally ready to go and runs off. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I watched Bishop get ripped in half and nearly get sucked into the vacuum of space. If the synthetics were really super powerful, the alien queen would not have been a problem.
Yeah.
But here we are with superhuman robots again.
Unless the show was a sequel and robots got better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It fixes that problem too. Just telling you. I know how to fix the show. Because I think it has. I think the kids in bodies. I think that's an interesting idea. I think her trying to find her brother. I think that's interesting. I like. He's just a robot, right? Timothy Oliphant.
Yes,
he's
like he's a regular synthetic.
He's great. Best part of the show.
I do. Out of all of the actors so far, I like him. I don't. There's only one member of the kids that I like, and it's the black guy that was holding the bin over the eyeball thing. He's the only one. Yeah, he's the only one acting like a kid in most cases. Everyone else is just awkward.
Yes, he's good. He's good. And I also liked that monster, the eyeball alien that mind controls its hosts. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm more interested in the other animals, the other creatures.
Exactly.
Because what can they do? You know, it's like playing Metroid Prime and you're like, ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? I don't care about the xenomorph. We've seen a million of you. Piss off. You know, like what about the giant ticks that no one can feel crawling around inside of their costume, apparently?
Yeah.
I don't like how the alien looks. First off, its neck is terrible. I don't know if anyone else has seen pictures of that thing. Like like all of the xenomorphs have these kind of like thicker necks because it's a costume, but for some reason this thing it looks like a door hinge. Like it all comes down to a point and then it just gets way wide. And I don't understand.
Think that this one's a costume though, because it's really small, unless they're just like doing forced perspective. Because it's like not taller than it's like doesn't come up to the human's head.
We're not seeing your screen.
I'm not showing it.
Oh.
I would say it's probably a really, really thin and petite man playing the xenomorph, because it's
just a little Asian guy.
Yeah, it's Chris Evans' stunt double. Yeah, I don't. The xenomorph design is really awkward. I also don't like that it's brown. Not because I hate brown people or something like that, because everyone's going to be like,
but he does hate brown aliens, guys.
But I really hate brown aliens. He hates
brown illegal aliens,
especially because they come here and start killing things, and there's going to be somebody like
you could fit a little person in there.
Yeah, so right here, look at how thick that neck is.
Yeah, it's disproportional. It's weird.
Almost every alien, so like the dome, the actual so the mechanism for the jaw has always had to be a little higher or in front of somebody's face so that it can extend outward.
Right.
But when you look at there's got to be a good
this one?
Scroll up on the right. No, the white image. One more.
This one.
That one. Yeah, that's the original xenomorph.
I was like, that one's from the Covenant, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this is the original
costume. It's just a guy in a suit.
Yeah, exactly. But look at the neck. Like the head goes onto the head. You're able to see through and still act.
Yeah. And you just have a skull in front of your actual face.
Yeah, exactly. So it's elongated because that's what the xenomorph thing does, right? The DNA or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you have the mechanism for the mouth that goes in and out from the inner jaw. But the one from Earth, look at that. The neck is huge.
Yeah,
that's weird. Let's see if I can find a better picture.
Like it's weird that they decided to change the design. I'm so sick of these AI thumbnails and everything. They look terrible.
Could be a promo image, but it's not in the show yet. Yeah, these might be AI. Let's see.
So many of them are AI.
And it doesn't show you much of the alien yet, and it's just kind of doing things. Yeah, it's a really thick neck.
Yeah,
that almost looks like the head is the human head is right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
yeah, in the shoulder. It's weird because it looks more akin to the runner alien from 3 than the actual original xenomorph. It's goofy. I don't know why they designed it like this. The rear, the back, the dorsal spines are off. The tail is too short and stubby. And I know there's going to be a bajillion people that are like, oh, well, here's reasons A, B, and C. And I'm just going to tell them, no. Like, that's just wrong.
I will say some of the posters for the show are pretty great. Like that's
pretty awesome.
I did like this one, yes.
There were some good ones. There's one where the facehugger's on like the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
that's good.
That's cool.
That's a good poster. I like the one where it's like a spider coming up over. This is that's okay. This one's okay. But I like the one where it mixes. There's some good ones.
Yeah.
There's one where it's the Earth, but it's also like the embryo for the growth. Yeah, this one. That's smart.
Yeah, that's okay. I think I like the one with the face coming up over the planet better because it's more reminiscent of the original poster, you know.
But
yeah, that first episode was really frustrating because I was like, here we go again. It's just every sound effect, every visual, everything. It's like they just opened up the folder for the for all their assets and we're just like, just use this. Just use this. Here's the stupid scream. Here's the door sound effect. Here's the computers, everything. It's all the same again and again and again. And we can't get away from it because art refuses to grow nowadays. It's so frustrating.
Oh, are you trying to say it looks like Jack Skellington? Is that?
No, because he was saying stuff about like, oh, what's this? What's the? It was
okay. Got it.
Something he was saying earlier.
Okay. The other two things that bothered me, when not robot, he's the cyborg guy. That was a good scene in the episode 1. The cyborg guy, which I think they used in the trailer, where he's his crewmate is banging on the door. I'm gonna get murdered by the alien, and he's just talking to the company, and he just calmly gets in his escape pod. I liked that. That was a fun scene.
She was awfully calm, though.
Yeah, she needed to be screaming a lot more.
yeah, they're a little more frantic. Would have been nice.
But when he in episode 2, when he comes in and stuns the alien with his stun gun, and then he stuns the brother. The brother started like looking around. He like moves his head to look at the alien. Before the alien, so the human character recovered from the stun gun before the alien did, and he got shot second. It was weird.
Yeah, there's so many little details that frustrate me in this show already. Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts. It's just a bunch of little like things that just they didn't really care about.
Agreed. And that makes me wonder how many episodes are there supposed to be in this show? Does anyone know?
I can pull it up. Hold on. I think it's 9.
Yeah, because I don't mind skipping past the ship was already screwed and
right because then seeing them explore through the ship, you get the story. That was good.
Yeah, I'm fine with something like that, but there are a lot of problems that I've already got with that. Like again, the cryo sleep. It's like a number of people were infected. The facehuggers shouldn't have burst out.
Yeah,
which actually helps to explain why the alien is getting everywhere, because that means there's like 3 or 4 xenomorphs on the ship, which I'm fine with. But I don't like that we're doing superhuman robots, and for some reason she decided, with no context whatsoever, too. I don't know why this happened. Wendy, the main synthetic here, who can hack technologies remotely.
She can hack computer screens. Not the computers, the monitors. She can hack monitors. It's weird.
She like puts her hand on, not to bury the lead, but she puts her hand like on the monitor of the tablet that she's watching her brother through, and she somehow manages to remote control the robot at like the DMV or something and make it worse.
Yeah, no,
for her brother.
It's
I would say
it's
that's
like Ultron level control.
That's something I think I've seen before where people like they just touch the screen and somehow they're able to interface with the thing. It's a dumb thing. I completely agree, but definitely not the first time I've seen something like that.
No, like if anyone had this power, it would be like a big problem. It's way too powerful.
Yeah, and they were like,
it's 8 episodes. By the
she
way.
could do. Oh, it's I have 6 more hours of this.
Yep.
God, you're lucky. I love you.
Love you too, man.
But then again, like it's so dumb that a TV series can be only 8 episodes.
I don't understand how you could have 6 more hours than your average movie and still suck at making characters. The
yeah, I'm not invested in any of like Wendy's okay, and Timothy Oliphant's fun, but I'm not really invested. I don't really care if any of these people live.
I don't either. And there's not enough build up, ironically. Like
yeah, for the hour-long episode that was supposed to be building this up, there's not a lot of build up. Yeah.
But so there is no setup for what she does. For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, for some reason, because Wendy is basically acting like Peter Pan in this case.
Yeah.
And when she's given the assignment to go with the others to help people in this big incident, right? Before she heads off to get the other kids and tell them what the mission is, she storms into her room, grabs like a keychain walrus as though that matters. There's no context for that one, but it matters.
Pulls a sword out of the paper cutter.
Yeah.
So you know those the big paper cutters where it's got the big lever. You pull it up and that they have in schools. You know, shink shink shink.
Yeah.
She walks up to one of those, pulls on the lever, and it's a katana.
And it's
like a
so
short
big,
one, and then sticks it to her back, which made sense because she's like a robot. She could magnetize it to her back, whatever.
Yeah,
why did she just have a sword? Why did she pull it out? That was the most. I'm so glad you reminded me of that scene. What was that? It made no sense.
It's so painfully stupid, and none of the other kids have any other quirks or anything else. The one that was like, am I going to be able to walk again? Is sitting on her ass doing nothing instead of walking or running or like none of the characters have any traits that are or unique aspects to themselves.
Yeah.
The way except for her terrible haircut. Man. Her haircut's terrible.
Wendy's?
Wendy's is terrible.
So it's her chosen name because she's a kid and they have to do the consciousness transfer in secret. So when she gets put into the alien, she calls herself Wendy.
All of the kids are introduced to their synthetic bodies by watching the original Peter Pan cartoon movie on the ceiling. So each of them take a name after the Lost Boys. And in this case, Wendy, because we can't get away from politics in this crap, Wendy is basically the Peter Pan character now, and she's leading the Lost Boys on the ship.
Okay, Joshua, no. She doesn't pull the blade off of a paper cutter and use that as a weapon. No, she pulls a sword out of a paper cutter. Like someone took a sword and then drilled a hole in the tip of it and attached that to a paper cutter for some reason.
It is unironically a like 2-foot katana. It makes no sense.
You know
when she grabs it, see if you can find it.
Keep ranting, okay?
When she grabs it, it looks like an actual paper cutter, right? Like it's got the guard and everything. But then she just yanks on it once, and they freeze on it for a second, and it's a sword.
Yeah,
it's just
That's weird.
And then she overhand like magnets it to her back or whatever because she got the COVID vaccine, and she's just walking around with a sword strapped to her back, and nobody questions this. Nobody. And by the way, these synthetic people, even if they're superhumans, somebody said it earlier. Like
it's episode 2, right? Yeah. The sword.
I thought it was 1 because they get ready to fly.
Okay. I'll keep looking.
I'm pretty sure they get ready to fly there because in 2 they're in flight because Timothy Oliphant's whatever he's supposed to be named has this weird conversation about, did you know that humans used to be food? And then they made tools, and now they're not food. They have fixed their world. And it's like, what the hell does this have to do? What is the context for this conversation with a 12-year-old dude?
That was a weird conversation. I didn't like that.
That sounds like a weird conversation. I think, like, again, I see maybe what they're going for with, like, cool, we figured out tools and became, top tier predators or whatever. But, like, we were food and we're not food anymore.
It's like the writers were like, hey, I'm smart enough to understand Prometheus. We'll do our own Prometheus. And they threw that in, and it's like, you're talking to a 12-year-old, my guy. Like, this doesn't work. And the whole time, she's explained to have she's supposed to have a supercomputer in her head.
Yes.
Because she's a synthetic, but she's got the mind of a child because she's like literally 12 or 13 or whatever.
Yes, they put the mind of a child into a supercomputer.
Yeah, and she's not supercomputing.
No, she's at no point in the show did any of the kid side synthetic characters supercompute anything.
It depends on how they set it up.
There's still 6 more episodes.
Maybe they're just, again, they're still kids with an actual supercomputer in front of them wouldn't know how to use it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to give it a benefit of the doubt on that.
So, like,
maybe, but I don't know how it was set up because I haven't seen it.
When shortly after Wendy shows off her Kate Beckinsale underworld landing jump, she's like, the 2 people interviewing her are like, so how do you feel? And she's like, I have these things, referring to her breasts, because they put breasts on the adult body. And she's like, they bounce whenever I do things, and it's weird. And so they go on to explain that they're trying to pump her full of hormones artificially to make her mind act as though she's going through adolescence and puberty.
Yes.
Huh.
Because they don't want to lose all semblance of humanity. They're trying to give her a natural human experience.
Yeah. So this is the scene where she's about to walk in. Yeah. Go ahead, buddy.
This is the paper slicer scene. There's no audio because
I don't think it's important.
Yeah. Because if I do it through Chrome, you won't be able to see it. So let's see. Watch this.
So she walks in all excited,
grabs her walrus.
Grabs the walrus because that means something. Shing!
It's a sword.
It's a fucking sword, people. There's no other way to explain this.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a sword attached to a paper cutter.
Yeah, and notice like where the hinge is supposed to be when she grabs it. See if you can get the good right there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work because they don't. It would just fall off.
The bolt is there.
The blade would just fall off.
That's the thing. That is actually just a sword bolted onto a board.
But it's not even. But it's not even bolted through the sword.
It's
the
not.
sword just pulls out. You would have to unscrew the bolt, and there would have to be a hole in the tip of the sword.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's not staying there.
Here's what it is. She didn't actually do anything to magnetize it to herself. That's just a magnet. It's just stuck there on the side of the thing. It's not actually a part of the paper cutter at all. Yep. That's so dumb.
And I hate this freeze frame because you can clearly see that this probably isn't even a real sword.
Right.
Because actually, I'm willing to bet that's CGI because look at how harsh the lighting is on her skin versus the handle.
Yep.
Because there's like a window above her and it's coming in over that. Maybe.
But
there's no way.
Watch the animation as it moves. You can tell it's CGI.
Yeah. Look at how it jolts in her hand when she picks it up.
It's like clipping.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty sick if it was an actual blade from the chopper.
That's the thing that's dumb about it too, because like those kinds of like improvised weapons look really
Yeah,
cool.
look at
that.
I don't mind the back thing. I
It
don't
was
mind the back thing. She's a
magnetized-
robot. She can magnetize it.
It was just
Okay.
magnetized onto the side of that board, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, there was a sword over here. Let me go grab that sword and stick it on my back."
It still looks goofy. I don't care what you.
There's still no context to this, though. She's not
I
like.
also completely agree with the
Right.
fact that
It would
looks
make
goofy, just like slapping it on her back. Even if it makes sense,
Look,
it looks super goofy.
It would make sense in a Home Alone movie, right? But like, why does she need to have or if she was trying to keep a weapon secret from if at any point the show had established that her creator was like oppressive and wouldn't let them leave the compound, then it would make sense that she has a secret weapon in her room. But that's not the case. He's the one that tells her she can go, and so pulling out her secret weapon would expose to everyone that she has a secret weapon on this sanctioned mission.
And you were saying like, oh, it makes sense in like a Home Alone movie. No, in a Home Alone movie, they'd show him unscrew the thing and then use the blade that comes with the actual things. Like, oh my gosh, that is pretty goofy.
Yeah.
My disappointment is that I watched R-rated for the fact that the original Terminator,
in the original Terminator or in Alien, I didn't have it spelled out for me.
I'm not I don't understand 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Wendy's walking around with I think it's called a wakizashi, I think is that short one, because ninja toes are the straight blade and then the wakizashi I think is the short curved blade. But
wakikashi.
This is also
is it
an excellent point. They don't have blade. It's not a flat blade. It's
flat on one side.
It's flat on the board side, right. And then the blade has little grooves in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's atrocious.
It's
the pacing is also.
Can you imagine though how cool that would be, like as a iconic tool or weapon of this character if they wanted to make her cool? Instead of having an actual sword, have an improvised sword. Like improvised weapons are really cool looking to be able to do for action figures or whatever. That would be really cool if they'd actually made that an improvised weapon thing instead of making it look too much like it's supposed to be a real sword.
Agreed. Oh yeah, here's the Kate Beckinsale underworld jump. So check this CGI out.
Okay, it's time to come home. Time to stop hanging out on your cliffs.
Oh my gosh! It just kept going.
Yeah,
it did just keep going.
Yeah, that's a big cliff. And also, if you're a synthetic body, you're gonna weigh more than a human too. You're gonna fall a lot faster. Unless you've got rocket boots in your legs.
But it's probably got synthetic muscles that make it so that it can land and not hurt itself. And it's on sand. I don't know.
But the problem is that it's a prequel to Alien.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good point.
See, the thing too is that in Aliens, Bishop mentions that the old K2 models, which were Ash, were a bit twitchy. They were faulty. They were never perfect or anything of the nature. Yeah. So for these, to the previous point of why is it that we are 2 years prior to the original movie and the technology is light years ahead? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This was also very silly for the rescue team. It crashes into a building and it hasn't fallen yet. Right, it's still embedded in the building, and
it's almost like spaceship fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
What are you trying to say, Alien Earth? Huh? What are you trying to say? Bush did 9/11. This was bizarre. This was a very bizarre choice to me. With the search and rescue team gets there, and they're like, "Hey, definitely the safest thing to do is board this ship." That's connected by one steel beam.
Yeah, they just walk across this beam
into the ship. Maybe wait until we've braced the ship or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on in the episode, they jump across a chasm. And you're like, But how are you going to get back? How are you going to rescue anyone you've searched for if you jumped across a canyon? So
the number of choices. Maybe you can find it a little. Is it the end of the first, or is it somewhere in the second when they decide to jump across the giant pit of death?
I think it's this one.
No, not this one. So the brother and 2 other rescue members.
Yeah,
they're descending down a
that's what I was talking. That's what the scene I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It happens a little bit after that. They go into the ship. I'll try and find it.
Yeah. So there's these because apparently in Siam they make Minecraft stairwells. It's just a square tower that's just stairs going all the way down, and instead of getting rope, instead of getting anchors, instead of getting a ladder or anything, they're like, oh look, here's an 8-foot gap over this 60
there isn't even a steel beam.
Yeah, and they just we'll jump across. It's like, why are you treating this like a video game, guys?
Right, but if there was someone that they found that needed to be rescued, they wouldn't be able to get back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Characters make terrible decisions all the time. They make nonsensical decisions all the time. He already found it. Here you go.
It's episode 2.
Looks like something out of the Raid.
Yeah, they just jump across this. They jump across that entire thing on a search and rescue mission.
Yeah, it seems like you'd want to get some rope and rappel down or something.
Yeah.
But he does this.
Okay, now you do it too, bud.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. So.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you felt about it, but the pacing was atrocious.
Yeah. No, I got really bored.
That first episode dragged on so long. And we, my lady and I paused it.
This was cool though. I like this.
Yeah, the cat. It was we paused it. I thought an hour had passed. It was only 35 minutes.
Yeah.
The first episode is so terrible.
It spent a lot of time setting up Wendy, and yet I still don't really care for her character as much as the show thinks we should.
Yeah. And then the second episode breezes on by because there's so much crap happening.
All off screen.
It feels like a fever dream. And the alien is so oddly efficient at killing.
Yeah,
because it's just killing. There's no attempt at capturing anybody for later infestation of any kind. Like, none of that. It's just murdering people, and some of these guys are getting ripped in half. Here,
it's so this is the cyborg. He stunned an alien and then wrapped it up in like a spider web, and he's trying to drag it back because he works for Wayland Yutani, and everyone else works for the Boy Genius, whatever his company is.
The Prodigy.
The Prodigy, Jesus. And he gets stopped by the search and rescue team. They're like, hey, you got to leave here. And then he says, no, he says, I can't remember if it's been a thing that the aliens can smell fear.
That's not a thing. I don't know why he said that.
But this is canon in the show now because he's not scared of the alien, it ignores him and kills everyone else.
Yeah, the script is canonically going to be in my toilet in a little while.
So it's canon now. Okay, he tries telling him, "Look, I'm not the threat here. The thing's gonna, and then they try and do this. There's 6 guys arresting him right now, and he says, "Guys, I'm not the threat here. I'm gonna close my eyes."
Dead, and you see it. These people are just mulched behind
the alien.
Him.
Wakes up, breaks out of its cocoon, murders 6 people in literal seconds, and then I'm gonna murder the main character slowly, guys. But I guess it's because he's not scared of them, right? And then he turns around and there's just carnage everywhere.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like it's all unnecessarily violent for violence sake.
Yeah, that's what was so terrifying about.
But it's not even showing the violence.
Alien movies. It was a slow stalking before it killed you, right?
Most times, yeah. The original Xenomorph was the original Xenomorph was like the aggressive form of the Thing. The Thing was trying to survive. The Xenomorph realized it was more dangerous, right? And it slowly stalked everyone because it doesn't know its environment. This one, it's just barreling through everybody like the Thing prequel, and it's like, great. So we'll just throw everything out the window because consistency doesn't matter, apparently.
Yeah.
Are you telling me the Xenomorph murders at a greater? Okay. All right.
Yeah, this thing probably has a higher body count than the Alien 3 by the end of the third episode.
Wow.
Now, and I understand you want to humanize the human characters, give them some personality, but the baseball thing felt that the Reggie Jackson, is that his name?
Correct.
I don't do sports, okay? He after he's walked through the apartment of murdered aristocrats, he picks up a Reggie Jackson ball. This is the brother, and then has a memory of his dad teaching. Apparently, he knows everything about baseball from 2,000 years ago, or sorry, 1,000 years ago, right?
About 1,200 years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's 1977.
He knows every single detail about the game, not just the person, about this specific ball and the game in which Reggie Watts played in it. Reggie Jackson. Sorry.
Yeah, he has the Reggie Watts.
Who's Reggie Watts? Is that a person?
Yeah, he's a musician.
Right. Okay, that's
that'd be hilarious.
I know these sports.
Yeah, that's fine. So Hermit, this character, this is Wendy's brother, right?
Yeah.
This scene happens immediately after he just got knocked out by the cyborg who tased him, and
which was preceded by him almost getting murdered by the Xenomorph.
Yeah, because apparently the Xenomorph couldn't kill this dude, even though he was the only human left in the room.
No, he plays with him.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
After murdering 30 people in a blink of an eye, he plays with this guy because he's a main character. He can't die. For like a good 10-minute scene, he's like running around the room with the alien.
Yeah.
He gets tossed around a couple times.
You want to bring up the French Connection over here and just show them what we're talking about, because it's so cartoonishly stupid that
it was
they did
silly.
this. But yeah, so the Xenomorph kills Hermit's teammate and then mulches everybody in the party. Yep, there you go.
They're having a theme party.
Sir, a spaceship has just crashed into the building, and you need to get out of here before the whole building comes down.
But he goes, I'm not in immediate
danger.
danger.
Having a party.
I have a personal landline to the boy genius. If there was really a problem, he'd be calling me. Yeah. And then they all die.
Wait, you hovered over it. Where was he in half?
It's over here.
Yeah, there you go. Look, they're in there. They're sitting.
They're sitting at the table dead. And then it shows him crawling. He's been cut in half and he's crawling across the floor somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah. So the aliens somehow managed to run in, kill a bunch of these guys before they got out of their chairs and even dropped their teacups. And then when it comes to killing the Hermit, it just leaves him alone. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, I got your foot. Oh, I got your foot.
This was silly. A 12-year-old boy isn't going to be terrified of this tentacle thing in his face.
Yeah.
another note back.
I suppose it depends on what that 12-year-old boy is into.
You know, I'm really worried about the implications of this show in the coming episodes.
Yeah, Ice Age is canon now in the Alien universe.
No.
They bond over Ice Age, the brother and the sister. It's a little weird.
I genuinely thought it was a meme. Like there was a picture, a still image, and I saw it on Twitter, and it was like, there's a faded image of Sid from Ice Age in the background, and I was like, oh, okay, so somebody said something, and the internet memed it. No, the way they do memories in this show is they have somebody found the opacity filter in DaVinci. That's it. That's all it is. They just layer something over, and then they fade it out a little bit so that you can see it, and then they fade it in, and then they fade it out later. That's it. That's what they do. So they have, like, Wendy's standing there just, like, reminiscing about something in her head, and then they just slowly have Sid slowly pops in and then fades out. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Weird.
Why are we doing this?
Oddly appropriate, because my nickname in high school was Sid because I looked like Sid the Sloth.
Okay. Do you have more to complain about, or should we move on?
Let's just move on, because, man, I could be here till the end of the stream.
Okay. Bearded, you want a sketch?
Yeah, just since it's a quick one that only you and I have seen.
Fantastic family movie.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it's probably the best family movie of the year, maybe in a few years. It's you undersold it. It's the best thing about this movie is it's a kids movie, it's a family movie, but its greatest strength is it doesn't treat the audience like they're kids.
Yeah, that's true.
The movie is literally shot in every way like a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's edited, it's sound mixed, it's the cinematography. It's telling you that this is a horror movie, but the monsters are little kid sketches that have come to life and they're goofy and cute.
See, that's what I was getting at too when I was saying like looking at the images of it, you think, okay, it's going to be a fun kids level of scary because of the fact that it's all these kid sketches.
It was genuinely spooky.
It goes a little harder, not so hard that it's like, but you're right. It's because they edited it and like sound mixed it like it was an actual horror movie.
My 4-year-old daughter, she just turned 3. My 2-year-old daughter, who just turned 3 today, was a little bit too young. She didn't get that it was scary, and she was just having fun. My 10-year-old or 9-year-old, who's turning 10 next week, he wasn't scared. He was too old, but he was like, that was really fun. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then my 4-year-old daughter was terrified the whole time, holding on to my wife's arm, but loving it. She was like, "Oh, that's a scary monster!" Oh, but like it wasn't like scary, but it was still fun enough. And then at the end, she was like, "That was really fun," and I was like, you were really brave." But like,
I will say that the monsters that were being drawn at the end, the ones that were just the black scribbles or whatever, those ones look pretty cool for what they were too. You know, like that was actually legit, like effect. The other thing that So tell me what you thought about like the dialogue and the back and forth with the kids, because probably 80% of the time I thought that their like dialogue and like jokes and quips and timing were great. Another 20% of the time I was like, that was kind of cringy. That wasn't great. But like
the dialogue is really well written. But it's like Calvin and Hobbes dialogue.
Yeah,
the kids, it's not realistic. Which is
they are a little too
not necessarily a bad thing, but the kids are talking like adults, and it's not that they're talking like adults. Every joke is the jokes are all very meta, and they're constantly addressing the ridiculousness of the situation and the script. They're constantly like saying, "Oh, is that really a thing that you would do?" And like, "Yeah, but I'm going to do it." And so the humor is very meta, and it's definitely not something like a kid would pick up on. But that's also not like a mortal sin. Like it was very quippy. It was very funny. The humor is very good. The heart-to-hearts are very good. There are very good emotional beats. There were one too many heart-to-hearts that hurt the pacing. They slowed down just like one too many times and talked about their feelings just one too many times.
I think more than anything, it wasn't meshed well enough together so that when they popped them in there, it felt a little bit weird because especially like the whole like
they were all good.
Take away all the faces. Hey, you didn't take away all the faces. Like it was kind of like peppered in there in a weird way that didn't like mesh right. But
the acting wasn't bad at all. It's just it hurt the pacing that they had. They kept going to emotional beats,
and I think it was more that they were it was less that they were going straight to the emotional beats and more just the way that they cut from one to the like they didn't. To me, it was just it didn't flow. They could have done emotional beats that flowed more into them, and they could have done just as many, but they just didn't flow into it very well.
And what also hurt the pacing of the finale was they needed like one or two more clips cutting to the outside world where sketches were attacking the town. They cut to it after the finale was already resolved and they showed the monsters dying or whatever, but we didn't even know that was happening until the problem was already solved. And that hurt the impact of the finale. But other than that, it's a fantastic family movie. I enjoyed watching it as an adult. The acting is really good. The jokes are really funny. I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with this movie and the very unique CGI. Go take your little kids to go see Sketch, and they'll be scared but also enthralled.
To Alucard's thing, it wasn't advertised much because it's a smaller studio. It's Angel Studios that did it, and so they don't probably have nearly the kind of budget that a lot of places, that a lot of Hollywood will. But that's another reason to go out of your way to go see it because this is the kind of studio to go support.
I really, really miss scary kids movies. I've been saying this for years, and this is the first time I've seen. It was like, make a kids movie that gives you nightmares. Do it. But this one doesn't go quite that far. Like I don't think anyone's gonna have nightmares.
It's the right kind of scary for kids. It's the scary for kids that it should be. I think.
The absolute best scene, or like the honestly, like the first 30 minutes, just setting up the premise is my favorite part of the movie because it's it goes off like every horror movie cliche. You know, like it's not a move to a new house, but the mom is dead and they're they've got moving boxes and they're trying to sell the house and they can't. And it's like the way that it's filmed is wonderful. And the best shot of the whole movie is when he drops the book and there's the big stinger and the hair dryer flips open the pages and it's like, oh no, I just unleashed a curse, and like it's phenomenal. I really like and
the bit when the cat comes out when they're like driving or whatever and the cat runs in front of them, that was a funny bit. I thought that was pretty good.
It was okay. Yeah,
the cat from the front of the thing. Oh man, because that was the thing where I'm just like, okay, that's a little like over the top, but at the same time, like, okay, I'll roll with it. And it was like, oh man, that was funny.
Okay, that's what I liked about the old Naked Gun movies. The main characters don't break the fourth wall. Yeah. Wait,
real quick. One other thing I want to toss in there about Sketch, real quick, before we move on to that, is I did love the emotional impact of what was the tapping on the windows.
It was good.
I thought that hit really, really nicely. I was like, that was really sweet.
There were a lot of payoffs. The one scene that could have been done better was the music on the bus, just being played from the phone. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
It was maybe just the mixing, but like I couldn't even hear it in the theater, and the monster heard it in the midst of roaring and fell asleep. That was dumb. What they should have done, they could have been a better setup and payoff for that one scene too. Is the other kid could have had a Bluetooth speaker that he kept bringing to school, and it kept getting confiscated.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to take a Bluetooth speaker to school, and the bus driver has it, and then you could literally do that same exact scene because they're trying to get to the speaker, and instead of just playing the music on the phone, it would have been better, and then they could have stalled it even more, like play the song, it's pairing, that would have made that they would have taken the scene from an 80 to 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. So
highly recommend. Wasn't enough setup for that too. So
yeah. I do feel like it's the kind of thing where like because it's not the full polished like Hollywood stuff, like, and again a lot of the new Hollywood stuff has been falling prey to this where like they almost cut it down a little too much. It almost felt like it needed just a little bit more breathing room. Not that it needed to be made longer, and I think that they were trying to keep it from getting too long.
Length is good. The length is fine.
But yeah, so like again, not that I needed it to be longer, but there was like it almost needed a little more flow, and so there like breathing room to come from it, which doesn't necessarily mean it actually needs to be longer, but just a little bit better flow on it. But yeah, I thought it was great.
I think it's a fantastic movie. Take your kids to see it. Speaking of timing, though, The Naked Gun, infamously very short movie, and the director had to fight the studio to keep it short. Which I think was a good choice. I was
going to say that's the one that you didn't talk about in our texts the other day. Was after Gun?
Well, because I got out of it at midnight because I'd spent the entire day at the theater. Albelio, what did you think of Naked Gun?
I'm very happy to say that I had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Not everything lands, but some of them definitely do.
Not every joke lands, but it's also giving you a joke every 10 seconds. And I laughed frequently in the movie. It's nothing to write home about. I don't think it's like the greatest comedy ever made, but it was really pleasant.
If it hadn't been so long since we've seen movies like this and like since the original Naked Guns, we might be like, it's Naked Gun kind of going downhill because it's not quite as good as the other ones. But because it's been so long, we're almost like, hey, this got almost as good as the old Naked Guns, So that's kind of my take on it.
There was an ocean of Kathy Griffins.
Yeah, like I'll take it. The trailers really did not do this movie justice. The trailers did not make me want to see it.
No,
they focused a lot on the bit with the him turning, coming from the Girl Scout or whatever. But
right.
That opening scene is when I decided, you know what, I'm going to turn my phone off. And I'm I haven't turned my phone off in a theater since I think it was Dune.
Like, do you take notes on your phone?
Yeah. I'm usually like huddled in the corner, like I'm like injecting something in my side, like trying to be quiet and not blind anybody.
I was pleasantly surprised with Liam Neeson. I thought it was. I was really surprised with how fun Pamela Anderson was.
Yeah, she did a great job. She was.
I didn't think I was going to like her.
The scat scene.
The what?
The scat.
The scat. Her doing jazz scatting was so good. She's trying to seduce the bad guy, David. And she's trying to distract him so that Liam Neeson can sneak in. And so she jumps up on stage and to do a sexy song, and she's just scatting. It's great.
And this is the kind of humor that I've loved too, because a lot of the other ones where she'll be like, "Oh, such and such blues or whatever," and they're all like, huh?
We all look at her awkward because she's like, yeah, lay on the funk and make it thick, and they look at each other like, what?
Who is this lady?
And then she just
they stop playing. They try and play, and then she starts scatting, and they're like, what do we do? Like the musicians stop playing. Everyone in the nightclub is confused except for the bad guy, who's just like, yeah. He's like, yeah, and everyone's just like, what?
They're not necessarily with it amongst the characters, but at the same time, that is one of my favorite bits. Is how often you'll say something. You'll have a character that like the Liam Neeson or the Leslie Nielsen that like they'll make a like totally like out of the left field like comment again. It's like taking the pun of a word the wrong way or whatever, and they take it completely seriously. The people that are interacting with them are like confused for a second, but not so confused that they call them out and go like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like it just gives you that little bit of a like, huh? And then they run with it forward. Oh, I love that. And so that's exactly what happened with the musicians there too.
The DNA of the previous Naked Gun movies is in this one.
It is.
And I was really worried when Zucker said he didn't work on it and said no. I was like, oh no, not Naked Gun. I'm very glad that I can walk out of this theater having
definitely you can tell it's for a more modern, like it's done more modernly with some of the humor and some of the
Liam Neeson says it at the beginning of the movie when he's talking to his dad in the scene that probably the best joke that they released as the trailer with them talking to the pictures of the previous cast.
Jay Simpson just
no, I'm sorry, not going to address that one. But no, he's talking to his dad and he's like, Dad, I want to be just like you. But I also want to be different and unique and
completely original. And even better.
I want to be completely original, but I also want to be just like you. Just give me a sign. Which I don't think the payoff to that at the end. I didn't love the ending of this movie, but the ending was just kind of dumb. But by the time it got there. By the time it got to the ending, I had already had so much fun. Like I didn't care that the finale was really, really stupid.
The one criticism I have about the payoff is that I wish there were a lot of jokes that they could have and should have done, but that we'll get to that. I wish that it was not a I'm proud of you, son. I wish it was a you need to prove yourself. So don't stand on the shoulders of giants. Try to be your own giant. I wish it had went that way. Because if the movie is funny, it'll be successful and we'll all hear about it. But if it's not,
it kind of patted itself on the back in the very end, and you're like,
what I actually wish they'd done instead would have been to make more of a joke out of it, like even though he is taking it as a sign, it's not actually a sign, and the owl's sitting there going like, "Get off of me! Freaking leave me alone," or something along those lines. I think that would have been a really funny, a better joke. But
So the fact that they just recently started dating in real life too. They wrote Liam Neeson's actual backstory into the character, that like he hasn't dated for a really long time, and Pamela Anderson is the first person he's dated since
Oh no! Wait, they're actually dating?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's gonna clap and then get clapped with the clap. No, Liam Neeson.
But they had chemistry. It worked. The sex scene that they spoil the rip off of Austin Powers, right? Where the silhouette in the tent scene, which I thought I saw that and it was like, okay, come on. Austin Powers did it first, and also before that, Mel Gibson did it in Men in Tights. Well, actually, which movie came out first?
Mel Gibson was not in Men in Tights.
No. But the silhouette scene where he's
you said Mel
Gibson. The night is young and you're so beautiful with his sword penis. Anyway, they do that. It's not a silhouette. It's the heat vision goggles.
Yeah, the heat vision of it. Yeah,
and the scene that you get in the trailer is the beginning of that scene, and it gets way better.
It gets way worse. I
thought it was just going to be a one-off joke, but they keep going, and it gets so much worse.
So bad.
It was really funny. Sorry, Mom. You're not I love
at the end. He's just like, that's not good.
He what?
When the guy who's watching him was just like, oh, that's not good.
Oh, no. The other one that I'll say that they kind of messed up in the trailer, because I liked the way that it was done in the trailer, and then the way that it was done in the movie was also kind of funny, but not as funny as the way they presented it in the trailer, was to take a seat. And in the trailer, she grabs a seat and walks out, which was great.
Yeah, that one didn't work because it had already been spoiled, and the pacing in that scene didn't work as well.
It was better. Like it was also good. It also would have been good by itself to be like, take a seat. No, I have enough room at home, and she sits down. Right?
That line was so.
Then
good,
she still ends up taking it in the end in the movie. Like they kind of tried to play that joke twice, and it didn't work. Like that was one of those ones.
I would have been happy if they just used that joke in the trailer, and that punchline wasn't in the movie, and they just did her alternate delivery. Like, no, thanks, I have one at home.
I have one at home. Yeah, that would have been great. Because that's the other thing that's fun, because you get to play around with the meta aspect of the movie and the trailer and everything else. Like the fact that it's not there. You know?
But that's the type of joke that.
Oh yeah,
that Airplane and Naked Weapon are built on.
Which I have watched Airplane now too. So
and
it's good, right?
The movie had a
not as good as Naked Gun. I liked Naked Gun a little bit more. I think it had more laughs and a little bit more like ridiculousness, but it was also really good.
Yeah, but Airplane's got boobies.
Airplane is so
and it's PG, and it's PG, so mom and dad will let you watch it.
That just that one scene where
they don't know. They don't know.
You're just like, what? Oh my god!
I love the line. I love the line when he's describing Pamela Anderson. It's like, I've never. She had such a great body, a top shelf rack, and a bottoms so good all the toilets would be begging for the brown.
Bottom so good, any toilet would be begging for the brown. I burst out laughing at that line. It was so good.
They did two different times of him describing her.
Yeah, he did it later on and had a
You guys are
different
spoiling
description.
too much of this. I gotta leave.
Dude, no, it's a good movie.
It's hilarious. It's very funny. Yeah, and I'm a professional. Stick up my own ass.
I want him to do another one. I want him to keep going.
Yeah. I will say it's not necessarily my favorite kind of humor, especially like in the movie. I wasn't necessarily laughing, but it is the fun, the kind of humor that I love to joke about and laugh about with people. You know,
your wife is not wrong. It is a very stupid movie.
But it's stupid like the Naked Gun movies have always been stupid.
But it does what it needs to be, though. It's old school. Like, I am a comedy through and through. The story and everything else is not even secondary. It's tertiary.
Yeah, barely.
It does what all of the comedies today fail to do. Because I don't remember the last time we had a comedy that was even as good as something like Liar Liar or Bruce Almighty.
Oh, yeah.
Where those are serious stories that have comedic moments. And then you have Austin Powers, which is like 50-50. And then you have Airplane and Naked Gun, where it's just 100% comedy. The story is everything.
Or like Naked Gun. Actually, that's one of the things with Airplane is that it almost does have enough of a true, of a story going through it, like an Austin Powers level, you know?
Yeah, I want a movie. It's Hollywood has just fallen so far. Like. How long has it been since we had a movie like Liar Liar or like The Truman Show? You know, where like this is just a good movie that's also funny.
Yes. And this is definitely the lighthouse of metaphorically. This is a lighthouse in the dark, because I don't remember the last time I watched. What was the last time any of us, like, fair question, because I'm having trouble thinking of any like comedies in the last 10 years that had me gutturally laughing.
Yeah, no. Like, there have been movies that had funny, like Fall Guy was okay. I didn't like the ending, but like that Fall Guy reminded me of like Beverly Hills Cop. I was like, this was pretty good. But like Deadpool. A laugh out loud comedy, like
Deadpool was funny, but not
busting a gut
funny.
in the theater. I don't know, man.
No, honestly, I laughed just about as much during Sketch though as I did.
I did. Gun. Sketch made me. Sketch kind of got me. Sure. I got some good laughs. The bastard joke. My son laughed so hard that it was brilliant, and I don't want to spoil the joke for David. It was hilarious.
It was
good. Man, that was a good joke. But yeah, busted like a comedy. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Hollywood doesn't make comedies anymore, though.
Well, and if they do, they're all very much on the like raunchier side. Like, so some of the ones
that are like super meta, you know, like
like
deconstructional
comedies, or the I don't know. I didn't watch like Girls Trip, but there was one like Joyride or whatever that I did watch. That was like they were funny, but they were also very like
Deadpool
over the top.
Is a superhero movie that is also a comedy. Like what about there's not like
but nothing about that had me like holding my stomach with laughter though.
Hollywood has done like rom-coms, but like I don't even know the last time they've done a comedy.
Yeah, slapstick comedy.
Anchorman 2 was 2013, but I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
It wasn't
not
I
good.
don't know if I watched the second one. I might have seen
Yeah.
the second one. I know I watched the
Yeah,
first.
see,
with
Violent
Zoolander
Night
too.
is a comedic horror, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a comedy. Violent Night was.
We were
pretty
talking
good.
about it earlier, but it was a great one because it hit such a wonderful balance of being comedic and everything else and like over the top gory,
Okay.
And almost coming
that-
back around in the end to be an almost genuinely sincere Christmas, sincere Christmas movie.
Oh yeah, no, it was a good Christmas movie.
Because the way that it ends with the like, it's the spirit of Christmas saved the day, like, but genuinely
it's
for the
good.
story,
It's stupid.
like
Really
in the
stupid.
middle of this like gory, over the top, funny movie. That was so good.
Yeah, Santa Claus comes back from the brink of death because the kids believed in Christmas.
Because the kids
Great.
believe. Yeah, it's just like
it was stupid.
Oh,
it was stupid
man.
funny. But Albelio mentioned that this movie was the lighthouse in the darkness of horrible movies. But do we want to transition to the darkness that is freaking weapons, man?
Yeah, at this point where I'm going to duck out because I don't want any spoilers for
No,
this.
you don't. You need to leave.
I also
David.
died laughing at your picture that you sent in the chat because that was brilliant.
I might pull it up because
Yeah.
you know I'm going to email it to
was
myself.
so
Hold on.
good.
Okay. Yeah. Are we good? We want to talk about weapons now?
Yep, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Bye.
Leave.
sure.
Get the
Good
heck
night.
out of
Good
here,
night.
man.
Get out of here because oh boy.
Okay. Hold up.
This was definitely interesting, and I see why you will think that it's your favorite of the year so far.
I don't think it's my favorite of the year. I think this is one of the best.
What is your Weapons is easily my favorite movie of the year.
No. But that's hype. That's me being. I'm bearing the lead. I think this is one of the best movies in the last 10 years.
That's some high praise.
I can't get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop thinking about this movie. It was so raw, it was so visceral, and then the release at the end of this movie was so freaking satisfying. It was, the tension was fantastic, and the comedy blended so well. Like it was funny, but it wasn't silly.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a primal release of tension, which sounds really sexual, but it wasn't.
Yeah, careful with the context because it's a movie about kids.
That's why I specified.
And grandmas.
But the bit with the kids running through the houses, and because that's the exact like framing of the idea of like the comedy that's in it.
Oh,
if you're watching this and you have not seen Weapons, like go away.
Okay,
watch the movie.
Go watch the movie.
Let's give a little context. Weapons is a horror mystery where one day at 2:17 a.m. 17 children just run out of their homes and are not seen again. And it's a culmination story of different intersecting characters and their intertwined events that culminates in quite the conclusion. It's, if anybody's ever seen 11-14, it's exactly like that.
11-14.
It picks up about a month after the kids wander off or run off. Yeah.
If you like this text, you'll like 11-14. It's the same basic story, and it's actually really goofy. But 11-14 is like totally serious. It's very fun. Anyway,
have you seen Barbarian? His other movie, the director.
Oh, that's actually shocking because I hate Barbarian.
Okay,
it's
not as good as this.
It's nowhere near as good. But
okay.
I agree. This is far better. Yes.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean, though? How it does have a shift in it, but not nearly as drastic of a shift as Barbarian did. Because like it flows really well from one concept to the other, but it starts out one thing and kind of becomes something else.
But it all makes sense though. It's not. There's a tonal. It's not. I don't even think it's a tonal shift at the end. Everything that happens in this movie absolutely makes sense within the context of the film. I agree. Like even the ending being as funny as it was, which the ending was hilarious. and simultaneously terrifying, because what happens at the end of that chase is horrific.
Yes.
Like but
if
it was just like,
if those kids did come back afterwards, like that would scar them for.
Oh, they did.
Like
because the movie implies that after, because Archer just drops Justine and he's like, my son, and I was like, oh, all right, I guess we're just doing this.
Yeah, but okay.
Now
it was funny. The ending was really funny, but it was terrifying, and I don't even know if I don't think this movie is a horror. It's a thriller.
Yeah,
it's
got a lot of
some horror elements.
It's more horror than just thriller, but I see how the storyline is more thriller.
The handful of violent scenes in them are horrific, but most of the movie is just tension.
It's more tension, but there is like an aspect of a horrific monster kind of like presence in the movie that like comes to. Because her being there and what she does is a little bit more horrific, but the build up leading into it is all that like tension, and then you get some tension as you're being introduced to this whole horrific monster going on. So yeah, I think it's a great mix of the two. Absolutely,
this is the one thing I didn't really get. I don't get why the movie's called Weapons, and I don't really understand the AK-47 dream sequence.
I mostly think that I think they kind of nodded to it by saying that she was turning the people that she took control over
into
kids
weapons.
Into weapons. That's the closest you got.
That's the thought that I had. I was like, maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
The AK. My first thought was I remembered when you see Paul, I think is his name, the Josh Brolin's character sleeping in his bed, which by the way was a great just that little hint of what's going on in their lives. Like when his wife peeks in and is like, I'm going to anyway, but when you first see him sleeping in that bed, I thought that there was like a Call of Duty poster on the wall, so that maybe that would be part of what's in his head because it was on the wall and playing into his dream. They never really get into that, but that was my first thought for it. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got the picture up now.
Okay.
So this is the day after I watched this film. I had to run to Walmart to literally just pick up one thing, and my two girls are running around the store like this. And I got PTSD. And I was like, no, girls, no. And it's not even the best shot. But they were literally doing the exact pose from the movie. They were doing the Naruto run, and this is the best snapshot that I got. But I was like, no.
You said that because you were also making jokes about because you went straight from sketch to weapons, and I was like, you're bringing your kids into weapons, huh? And you were like, no, they left the theater at 2:17. They haven't been back. I don't know. That was a good joke, but then this was the best. I love that.
No, also super cool. On the premiere night, the first showings of this movie were all at 2:17.
2:17, yeah.
Nice. It would have been really funny if in each of their hands they had a box of those drumsticks.
Sorry, what?
It would have been really funny if in the picture they were running in from weapons, but in each hand they had a box of the ice cream cone, the drumsticks.
Yeah, that would have
been but so many good storylines too, because it follows these different characters and how they intersect with it. Like the cop character, his whole thing, oh my gosh.
Albelio's been trying to make a point for 10 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good. I complained about Alien Earth for an hour. I'm okay being cut off. There are a couple things I did not like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I didn't know this guy was the one who did Barbarian.
Yeah. It's the guy. He's from The Whitest Kids You Know.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's the guy who would direct all of their. He would act in them too, but he did all the camera work for Whitest Kids You Know.
Huh.
Zach
awesome.
Kriegler, right? Is it Zach Kriegler?
I don't remember.
Krieger, I think. Yeah.
Kriegler, something like that.
Krieger.
Yeah.
I think it's just Krieger, but yeah.
So another comedy guy going into
horror. Yeah.
Which
I like Barbarian all the way up until the shift to what's his nuts, the guy from
who's also in this movie,
Justin something.
Yeah.
As soon as they shift him, that entire movie goes
Justin
to hell
Long.
for me. Thank you.
And I think that there's still a lot of good, like, because like the scarier bits are good past that. But that's the one where it's like there's such a shift in that movie from this, like, oh hey, we've got this Airbnb thing going on, and then suddenly
I think that tone shift is better here because they're going from one character to the next, and it overlaps.
So much better.
James was the one I had the most trouble with because that was that Justin Long shift. James is the druggie.
Yeah, James is the druggie. Yeah.
So when they shifted to him, I was like, I'm really on edge with this because I know a tone shift can be very difficult to pull off in a movie, especially since Justine and Archer were just straight horror through and through. And then you jump to him, and it's like, we can hear you.
Sorry, my microphone cut out for a second.
All good.
Which one was Archer?
Josh Brolin.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is Archer. Maybe I was thinking Paul, but yeah.
What were the things you didn't like?
Oh, so I'm less. I take less issue with the tone shift though because of going from Justine, Archer, Paul, James, and then it goes to the others. He's like the big drop. It's not as bad as Barbarian, knowing that the guy did
the tonal shift, like from the junkie perspective.
Yeah, because it's almost too comedic, but they bring it back towards the end. Because of the Paul's a little comedic too because he just knocks him
out. Yeah, because he's sitting there going like, "There's nothing in your pockets that's going to hurt me, right?
Okay,
I just need to know. It's one thing to find it, but it's another thing to be surprised by it." And then he reaches his hand in, and of course he gets stuck by a used needle. So of course he's pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm absolutely going to push back here. I don't think there is a tonal shift in this movie.
So where I will say is it goes from the like mystery of what happened to these kids to now there's a supernatural horrific thing. Like when you first see James's perspective, you see like the clown makeup of the aunt and everything like that, because that is so not present in the first bit. The first bit is so much about this
mystery,
like town suffering, trying to figure out what's going on, like worried about this like teacher and this teacher overstepping your bounds, trying to figure out these kids. It's just on that. And then we suddenly get introduced to like what's actually going on. It flows so well that it's good.
But
it actually works great.
They're trying to figure out what's going on from the beginning. The first POV is the school teacher who, after the police have given up, her life is still in shambles, and she's like, "No, like I need to know what the heck is going on." And so she tries, and she reaches a physical barrier. And then it jumps to the next perspective, and it's Josh Brolin doing the same thing, trying to figure out what the heck is going on until his character hits a wall. And then it jumps to who's the third perspective?
Was it Paul the cop?
Paul.
The Paul the cop. And it gets a little bit funnier when it gets to his perspective, right? And things start a little bit of humor, more humor starts creeping in, because there were like funny releases in the other two. There were a couple funny moments, where they're like, but it gradually builds, and then the second that it hits the junkie, the junkie's perspective, I think, is the best part of the movie.
And that's where you
and here's why too.
Okay, go ahead.
When it first started, I don't think anyone was expecting the multiple POVs, right?
Oh.
And when it first started, I was afraid that it was going to be gimmicky, and that while I didn't think, oh, this is going to ruin the movie, but I thought like, oh, like they're just doing it to be artsy, until it hits the junkie's perspective. And it starts telling the story where you're like, what's going on? And then maybe 5 minutes in, you see him trying to find a place to crash for the night. He's on the phone just saying like, "Hey, can I just stay at your house? Can I just like, can you send me some money? Can I crash at your place?"
Oh yeah, when he's popping handles.
And the second he said those words, "Can I crash at your place?" I was like, I know what the movie's doing. Holy crap. He's going to wind up at the house. That is brilliant. And then the next scene is him trying to break into that place so he can crash. And so like at first it's like, wow, this is a bunch of disjointed pieces of all of these people in the repercussions of this horrific event trying to piece their lives together, but I don't really understand what the point is from doing all the multiple perspectives. Like maybe it would just be more interesting if we were just following the one character trying to solve the mystery the whole time. And then the junkie comes in and you're like,
he is the missing piece. Yes.
Every single one of these pieces is important, and they 100%. Are all smashing together at the end, and he breaks into the house. And what's even more impressive is the breaks in these separate storylines can't happen in any other place. It literally goes to like the teacher's character. It goes until her character can physically cannot progress anymore. Yeah. Right. And the same thing with his and what was also cool is every time it jumped to a new perspective, it gave you like 1 extra hour. So it would jump to a new perspective, but it wasn't just like vantage point showing you the same exact time period. It would get you a little bit further.
Overlap a little bit,
and then the third perspective got you a little bit further into the story. And so it wasn't just putting the pieces together, it was progress. It wasn't just, I can see the picture more clearly now. It was, no, like this puzzle is a journey. And it was so brilliantly structured. The structure is incredible. And then he ends up in the house rummaging through and that's when I loved I was already enjoying it, but like that second I'm in love with this movie. And it still keeps delivering. He's rummaging through the house, randomly picks up a can of soup.
Weird. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And he's stealing silverware. Doesn't even know and you as the audience, that they're sitting on the couch and he doesn't because they're not moving and like the tent, it's done so well. And he turns around and these zombies are sitting on the couch. What the crap?
Freaks out and then realizes he can get away with it.
Falls down the stairs. Kids are in the freaking basement. Like, what a good reveal. And you're like, how could this movie possibly get any better? Oh, I'm going to tell you what the soup's for.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. First, it's I'm gonna show you the principal and freaking smash his boyfriend's face in with his skull.
Oh my gosh, that was rough. Wow, that would be traumatic if he ever woke up from that.
And by the way, what a positive way to introduce a gay couple without shoving it down our throats.
I'm just happy. I'm totally for inclusivity, okay? And I'm really glad that we got a homosexual abusive relationship instead of a lesbian one. Okay? So
statistically that's not actually a thing.
I didn't think his perspective was going to be good, and then it just gets better.
That's the one where you get the biggest reveal of what's going on.
This makeup lady just walks in the door, and you're like,
"What the heck?" Because you got the snapshot of her during the junkie's perspective. You got a snapshot of her in the woods in James's perspective.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck was that?
She walks through the door, and I was like, "What? Am I going to like this?" And then she does her voodoo magic, and I was like, I freaking like this. Her just measured patience and just doing her little tick and like, oh, I'm going to snip your hair. Like, what are you doing? Like, get out of my house. What are you doing?
Yeah.
The biggest problem I have with the movie is that if you pick up on all of the little clues, which are not really clues,
Yeah.
it tips its hat way too early.
I don't mind.
I didn't like it because it destroyed. I thought
I don't think it
way too far ahead and concluded everything before we finished Archer's story.
Archer
So
is okay. The
Josh
the dad.
Brolin. So like what he writes were what, because he uses the paint on the side of Justine's car, and I was like, oh, cool, done.
Yeah.
You blew the whole mystery for me.
I love that it didn't.
Well, but that's not the whole mystery. That's like one little piece of mystery, kind of. But then it
How is
turns out
that the whole mystery? That's who wrote on her car. And I like that it didn't show him doing it. It just shows the paint in his car. You're like, oh, he's the one that did that thing. That's not the
sure.
We don't mystery.
We don't have to see it. No, we don't have to see it. But the way everything happens so mysteriously at 2:17 a.m., which is right before witching hour, and it says witch on the side of the truck, and I'm like, okay, if it's not her, it's someone else. Someone else is doing this,
right?
And then
that didn't make it any less satisfying for me, though. Like it's the only what other explanation could there be? And it tells you what it is. An hour and a half into the movie, it tells you, hey, it's a witch. But that didn't spoil. Like, I was still having fun. Like it wasn't presented to be a twist or a secret. It was.
I still had fun with it. I didn't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I have an issue that it leans. I'm very particular about the mystery stuff. What was not Brick? What Glass Onion? What Knives Out? Knives Out. Have you guys seen Knives Out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate that this movie tries. It did the same thing Knives Out did, which was in Knives Out when the gal is trying to climb up the side of the house to go and get to the father. She climbs back down, and then the grandma says, "Grandson, is that you?" And it's like, okay, the only grandson is Chris Evans. Boom, it's him. It's got to be him.
Well,
and then
a great grandson. I think all the rest of them are
whatever it is that she said, great grandson or grandson, whichever it is. But the grandma gives it away right off the bat,
right?
Because you just have to do a little bit of deductive reasoning, and it completely destroys the mystery. That I do not like. That does not mean that I was not satisfied with the overall, because as you guys said, and I do
so
agree.
That's why it's called Weapons. Because calling it witch would have been too on the
nose. Yeah. So they just found another W word. Just like I just use it.
It's an anagram.
Jaws is too on the nose. Use shark.
Use fish.
I did like how consistent the story is. I love how they intertwine and overlap, and I like how all of the backstory is told. The month-old story of the kids disappearing is told in their backstory leading up to the present, which is all of them meeting at the house.
Right.
I enjoy all of that. I'm not saying I don't like the movie. I actually think it's very good.
Okay.
I don't like that it gives it away too much, because the movie, and I know the movie agrees with me, because they throw in the red herrings of the ants with the I always forget the name of the fungus.
Yeah, the
cordyceps. The cordyceps. Yeah, so they
parasite was a big theme, but I don't even think that's a red herring. I just think that's thematic, because
it's another explanation.
She is preying off the family, like she's draining the life from them.
Yeah. She is. It's both a red herring and a further explanation.
It's a red herring and a theme.
Yeah. It's.
So here's where I land a little bit in between.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so is I think the reason that Albelio and I feel like it's a little bit more of a twist, not necessarily that it's like a shift in a way where it's like sudden or unexpected or out of the blue or anything like that, like Barbarian was, where Barbarian, it's almost like a total pivot from one direction to a different, whereas this one, it's like it takes its time, it goes from one direction and it methodically changes to a little bit different direction, in terms of it was a mystery about what happened to these kids, and they never lose what that mystery was, unlike Barbarian trying to figure out what's going on.
It just turns from why to how.
Yeah, it turns from why to how. So for me, it shifts, but it's not a pivot. It's not a sudden pivot. It's a to your point, it's a gradual progression from one story to the other, which I think another reason that like it hit me a little bit more to like see it as a shift is because of how much I had heard about or like seen in the lead up to it, the marketing of the movie being like, what happened to the kids? Why did the kids, and it's such a focus on that mystery that then as it shifts into the other thing, the movie does it so beautifully, but my brain being kind of stuck on the like advertising for it goes like, oh, it's turning into something else, but it does it so well. That's why I'm like, it does have a pivot. It does.
At no point though did it feel like a different story. It was all the same story. It just said, hey, we're going to think about this differently.
I think we can all agree.
When you get into, I think when you get into the junkies perspective and you suddenly see the ant in the woods and you start getting those pieces brought in, that to me felt like now we're getting into a different movie, because all the other stuff before that had been an exploration of these 2 or 3 characters.
But just for like the first 10 minutes, and then you're like, oh wait, no, this is the same movie.
Maybe half an hour, but yeah.
That's a red herring. You fell for the red herring, you dummy. It's the same movie.
It sounds like I'm complaining about it because it's like it's something that I'm just pointing out, but it's like it's not even anything that I minded. It's just something that I noticed about the way that the story.
I will agree that when it jumps to the junkie, it does feel disconnected on purpose until it smacks you in the face and said, "You big stupid! It's all connected."
Yeah. That's the point to me. Is I agree with you that it feels like this was an intentional shift, and it was trying to say, this is an intentional shift, and in a way that it did it so well that I was totally fine with.
What can we all agree on?
I would to finish the point. This is very much a trust the process movie.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that the tonal shift in this is a better tonal, because again, we all like the movie. I disagree with the one, and I think the way you explained it was better than just a hard turn. It was more of a shift than a full pivot. But I think we can all agree this is a better and more consistent tone on staying focused while giving all the information properly than something like True Lies, how it shifts from spy movie to romantic
to rom-com,
like to oh yeah, we're a spy movie. That's right.
I love True Lies though, man.
It's so fun.
I don't know if I've seen it. So yeah,
it popped up on like I don't have like cable, but like my smart TV has like a streaming. It just like has movies sometimes. Sure. It popped up with anytime you turn the TV on, it's just got like a movie playing. True Lies popped up there. I watched the last 30 minutes of that movie, baby. It's so good. It's so freaking good. That was last week.
He smashes the dude in the face after the dude. So after they find his wife and Bill Paxton, and one of the men has grabbed Jamie Lee Curtis and then like slaps her, and he's like, "No!" and then he smashes the dude.
Dude, if your wife. Finale is flying a fighter jet and shooting a turban terrorist
into a helicopter
with
more turbans,
shooting him off of the jet with a missile into another helicopter with more Terrys. Ooh, that's a movie, baby.
You're fired.
It's a Samsung.
Yeah,
but this movie, it was just so good because, like you said, when you get to the kid's perspective at the end, that is just like, oh my gosh!
I cried.
That's heartbreaking to imagine, and like seeing the parents stabbing themselves in the face, like, oh my gosh! This is the one thing that I think I've heard as a complaint that I'm like, I can definitely see where you're coming from with this. Not that I feel like the movie needed to answer this question, which is why I don't personally have it detract from my enjoyment of the movie. But a thing that's like, oh, that's a lingering question is
what question was I'm so confused. What question was not answered?
So it's what exactly is going on? Like, so she's kind of trying to drain them, but then she's saying that the family wasn't enough, so she needs the kids, but then she's still having to be there, and is she because the kids
she needs their life. She needs their life force so that she can keep living.
They're still alive, and they're still. I don't know. It was so lightly touched on, and again, that's not the point of the movie, which is why like it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the movie.
I felt it explained exactly what she was doing. She tried sucking the life out of her nephew and
niece or whatever,
niece-in-law, and it wasn't enough,
I
so
think
she
it needs
needed
some
kids. She needed
Nephilim,
but that's every witch story ever. They sacrifice kids for their
Also-
youthness.
She also didn't ever like seem to be getting better. Like she I didn't see anything where it made sense where like, oh, when before she got the kids, she seemed to be getting worse, and now that she has the kids, she's kind of getting better.
I mean, she got a lot more spry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
She
there's
was
no way
running
she'd be
around
able to
the
run
woods,
like
man.
that otherwise.
She got the drop on Josh Brolin, man.
Yeah.
But man, the kid
And that
frick-
right
the
in
kid
the
feeding his parents with I was
and the other kids, including his bully.
Abel, do you have kids?
No,
You don't have kids,
I
man.
hope to.
No.
But-
This movie hits different, man. The movie hits different when you have kids. Oh my gosh, like it hurt so bad. I didn't full on cry, but man, I was like, I felt.
And you get it from
terrible.
a couple different perspectives because you get it from like a teacher caring about the kids. You get it from Josh Brolin's character being like, "Oh, where is my son?" And you really feel that. I think he did a great job with that. And then you get into when you get to the actual kid and seeing what he is going
That's the most
through.
fictional thing about the entire movie.
Is
a
the
teacher
kid?
who cares.
Oh, the teacher. No, I don't know. Some teachers care too much, man.
I will say, and she's a character. She's a teacher that cares, maybe not that kind of too much, but she like. I'm sitting there going like, no, like I get that you care, but like this is absolutely the wrong choice to make. You do not keep going after this kid. Like, stop. And I mean, obviously it's part of the movie, and that's the thing. But man, that was one of those things where it's like, there's
so much to praise about this movie.
The Alex's backstory reminded me of, and it was a better execution of the. Did you guys ever watch Antlers?
No,
I reviewed it a while ago, and it was a weaker movie. The third act really drops it. Basically, this kid, and so there's two kids and their dad. Their dad works in a mine or something, and the dad is attacked by a Wendigo. So he's turning into one, and the younger brother is also turning into one. The kid, who is the main focus, is feeding the two of them and keeps them locked in the attic.
Yeah.
Until they're released because a principal or whatever gets too involved. But this kid basically goes like
principals, man.
Yeah. So this kid is basically doing the same thing, but he's taking care of them as they're actively like Wendigoing out,
withering away, or
basically it was a better execution of that story. I would agree to that.
Speaking of principles, I have praise and criticism for the advertising of this movie. I like that for the most part, the trailers really spoil nothing.
Agreed.
Except for the principal.
Except for that one shot.
The trailer is the first 5 minutes of this movie, which I was not expecting. You go in and you're like, okay, this is going to be about the police trying to find out what happened to the kids. Nope, that's not the story. It literally tells you that's not the story. The story is a month later. Also, a brilliant move to not have the reveal that it was everyone except one kid.
The
trailers lied to you and said everyone in the class disappeared. And I was like when it pans over and the one I was like, wait, that's really good. I'm really glad that wasn't in the trailers because that was interesting. And I was pleasantly surprised that that choice of the trailer spoil nothing, except that it shows you the shot of the principal bashing his head through the door and bloody and crazy. And so, and since you'd already seen some of that happen, the second you already know
that way or something.
That was the one thing I wish that I would have been really, because imagine just going into that scene where the witch comes into their house and not know, because I already knew he was going to get possessed. And if I hadn't known that going into that fourth perspective, that would have hit even harder.
Except that you did also actually get that scene of him running at them at the gas station.
He attacks them in the gas station.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I will say I didn't see that trailer that showed that scene until after I'd seen the movie.
Every trailer I saw.
Oh yeah, I honestly didn't see most of the trailers then because I mostly just
it shows him attacking.
It shows him attacking.
It didn't ruin it at all because that scene was so visceral anyway.
Yeah,
but it would have been so cool to just not know that happens.
I completely agree because most of my experience with the movie was not knowing that was coming, and then I saw that in the trailer and I realized, that is a good selling point for the movie. That while it does spoil a really good scene in the movie, it doesn't spoil the rest of the movie, almost at all. It maybe gets you a hint that it's not just going to be the kids, but you might have gotten a hint of that of the fact that this whole town, something's happened. There's probably something going on. I'd started thinking, how is it that the police have had no success in finding these kids or whatever? I started thinking maybe there's a chance that there's a dark secret to this town, like an It story or something like that, where all the parents and adults kind of know what's going on, but they don't really. But no, that's not what's going on at all. So it doesn't actually spoil the fact that there's something completely different going on. I don't know. I thought it worked out really well, but I agree with you. It would have been great if they could have not shown that, because I experienced it that way and I thought it was great. Yeah.
I think there's an argument for that being, I think there's an argument for it not being so bad that that's revealed in the trailer, because not only is it we need to make sure people actually understand there's something to it, not just hey, kids are disappearing, because then that's not really catching the through people.
It's a great shot to put in the trailer, but
and that's the thing is I do the kids disappearing is a pretty good hook that's probably going to grab 90% of the audience that's going to come because of that hook. This grabs just a few more that I think it was probably worth doing it, but I do wish they didn't have to. Yeah,
I think it also creates a bit of dramatic irony, because they show you in the same way One Punch Man will show you something and then go backwards to show you what led to it, so that you have better context. I think that works.
I haven't watched One Punch Man, but I probably.
Oh, really? It's hilarious.
I know the premise. I know what it's about.
Sure. Very good. Anime.
Also, the trailers are intentionally deceiving. Other than they did a really good job editing a lot of the trailers. Where the scene where the school, what's the teacher's name?
Justine.
Justine, where she's peeking into the window, and in the movie she sees the two parents sitting on the couch just staring back, which is terrifying, right? In the trailer, they show her peeking through the window, and it cuts to the boys' POV peeking in on the crazy aunt laying in bed for the first time. So seeing this decrepit, decaying body in the bed, and in the trailer, you're thinking it makes sense in the trailer, I'm peeking in and I'm seeing something spooky, but it's jumbled up, it's mixed up on purpose so that it doesn't spoil anything. It was really, really smart.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't see any of those trailers. Yeah, I think kind of to Fadian's point, there hasn't been a ton of advertising for it, but I've just heard about it from people that went to CinemaCon and saw bits of it that thought it looked really cool or whatever. But yeah,
I basically had no idea until Tech was like, "Hey, you want to talk about these things?" And I was like, "What's weapons?" And then I went to go see it.
I'm just okay. More praise. I think this movie is what you show in film schools when you're teaching show don't tell.
Yeah.
Specifically revolving around witch magic world building. Because in any movie, this could be a snooze. The witch has to suck the blood of the children on 2/17 using a silver cauldron and the eye of a newt, explaining how the magic works.
Yeah, a lot of those
there's not a single line of dialogue that explains to you how the witch's magic works, but exactly how the witch's magic works so well just from seeing it done 2 or 3 times in different contexts that it's that the climax of the movie can be shown wordlessly and what's happening.
the kid himself as a character in the movie can figure it out and then do it, and you understand what he's doing, that he has figured out. He's going to do it.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
It's two things and one thing. There's one action that does one thing and another action that does another thing, and you can snap it and you can drop it in the water, and like it's great.
That is one of the few things that I did really like about Barbarian is like when they're doing the whole backstory of how he got the mutant daughter basically by, raping all the women and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't like I have to do this for reasons A, B, and C.
You dropped that.
Oh,
you got the daughter, but go on.
So it's dry. Here he is. He's working as an electrician. He's installing cameras, yada yada yada, and then that's his victim. It's very clean, straightforward. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
In this, they do exactly that. She doesn't explain how the magic works. She doesn't say bibbity bobbity boo, kill your boo, right? That's not how it works. And then he headbutts the gay out of him. That's not. There's nothing like that. It just
pray
happens.
the gay away. He was bowing. That's what
he
praying the gay away. He was just doing one of those Muslim prayers. That's what.
I'm pretty sure Allah's in this direction. How do you think, Thud?
Which way is Mecca?
So she does that, and I'm totally fine with that. I actually like Love, Death and Robots has this episode about this alien spider chick that keeps you alive in like this dream state, basically.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of questions about it, right? Because they never answer how she has that web. They never answer why they were sent into the web, whether it was a mistake or she somehow intercepts ships during space travel. None of those things are answered.
Wow.
It's just a highly mysterious thing. And what I praised about that was these are the good questions. They get you immersed into the world and make you want to know more about it. So not explaining anything, as a lore guy, this drives me insane because I want to know more.
Yeah.
But I also like that it doesn't, because it keeps it mysterious, like the original Alien used to be. Like I mentioned earlier about like the message to the ship and like crew expendable. That was never explained. You don't know. It's all guessing. Here, they do the same thing. And that's good.
I think that's kind of the point that I was making before about the one thing that they didn't really dive into was a little bit more of a like flow of that, which I agree was like it's good that they didn't like. There's a part of me as a lore person that does like to get that. Not that I needed to like, you need a silver cauldron and blah, blah, blah sort of stuff. But I wanted to get a little bit more understanding of what was happening there a little bit. But I kind of want that. But I'm so glad that it's not there, because that's not the point of it. And it's not like important to the story. So again, as it's like the smallest little, like not even really a criticism, because it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the movie. But it's the one thing that I was like, I wonder about that, that I came out of the movie going, I don't get that, But again, I agree with you that I think it's great that they didn't bother with that, because that'd be the thing that I'd be afraid of that they do in a sequel, is they'd be like, so now we can understand that she had to do it this way, or it became because of this or whatever. It's going to be like a lot of those other like Freddy and Jason sequels where they explain all the details about how they came to be or whatever.
What's just another thing that's making this movie so great for me is a lot of times on this show, when there's something that we like, we don't talk about it nearly as much as the shows that we've hated, because it's really easy to pick apart the things. Oh, this was stupid, that didn't make sense, that didn't make sense, and then we'll get to the good shows like, yeah, I'm really liking the show, I don't even know what to say about it because it doesn't have any flaws. And while that is also a good feeling, being able to pick apart a movie like this that I absolutely loved is something I haven't been able to do since like freaking the Prestige or Inception, there's so many just tiny, incredibly impressive details about this movie.
It's also an original idea. It's not
so
Dune.
Very original.
It's
Well,
not original. It's not Dune.
it's-
It's not Nosferatu. It's not something that's established. Like
right. It's an original IP, right? It's not a franchise. It's not an IP. It's not that original of an idea. It's an original. It's an execution. It's a witch trying to feed off of kids. That's not an original idea. But this is the most original movie I've seen in 20 years.
And the presentation, so the execution, the presentation too, and the way that it's told is really like, again, not that it's never been done before to get the different perspectives, but it's done so well.
But
this is the first time we've seen it done in a movie this.
And it's not just done as a gimmick. The presentation makes the movie better.
It never 100%. Goes above and beyond its own capabilities as well. It stays a knows small what it story. It's just like Black Phone. It never goes above and beyond.
Is that one really good? Black Phone?
I like it. I think it's fine.
I thought the trailers looked really good, and I've heard people thought it was okay. And then I saw trailers for Black Phone 2, and I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm as soon as I got about that, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll check that one out.
Yeah, it's an interesting story about survival.
I was trying to think, is there like a horror movie, like what's the horror movie that's one step better than this? I can't think of a horror movie that I like more than this movie. I've been trying to think about it all week. Like,
I've never been a big horror person, so I haven't watched a ton of them. So I probably won't be the person to go to for that. But because I don't think that there's anything.
I'm telling you,
better.
I think I like this movie like as much as freaking Seven.
You'd have to go to some extremes and then work backwards, like Exorcism or
I haven't seen Exorcism
or Exorcist,
The Exorcist or The Exorcist. Okay, The Exorcist.
No, it's The Exorcist.
I need to watch The Exorcist. I already know.
It's like, let's see, there's Exorcist.
I will say that I enjoyed Black Phone on a similar level, but it's not nearly as deep or as intricate or all of that. So like, I won't put Black Phone nearly up to this level, but I do think it's probably one of the more recent ones that I've enjoyed.
Like I'm having to go way back, like Seven. I think it's on par with Seven. I enjoyed it as much as like Signs or freaking The Sixth Sense.
There is a detail that we haven't touched on, and that is the actual horror itself. I
think it's more suspense. Like most of the movies, just suspense, and then there are some very horrific, like violent scenes.
I don't like when things are unnecessarily gory because it makes no sense. Like
I agree.
What we
it's
mentioned
like Saw. That's the only thing the movie has is gore.
Yeah, it's just torture porn, and it's like, I get it, but there's more dignified ways of doing this while keeping it scary.
Right.
I don't like what they did
looking
with
at Mobland and the way it did some of its gore.
Mobland's great. Watch Mobland, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
so Alien Earth, like like you showed earlier, where they're just like it's
pointless.
It's turning people into precipitation. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's over the top.
Yeah.
I don't care for it if it doesn't make sense within the setting, which is why Alien Earth is stupid even by Alien standards.
What is the horror in this movie? The bashing the head scene.
Have you ever heard of how men and why men and women will or will not sleep through like a kid's crying at night?
Have I heard of the birds and the bees? Is that what
no. So
okay. Well,
a woman,
when a man loves a woman very much,
he
gives her a very special hug.
Aisles. No, so a woman will wake up to a baby crying because of nurturing. A man will wake up because of rustling in the bushes, right? Because it's defensive. Oh crap, I gotta fight, right? Something that frustrates me in horror is when it always builds to a sharp string sting. Here's a loud crashing noise. This is your cue to be scared. And then people like jump because of the noise, not what's happening on screen. In this movie,
there's no jump scares.
Almost everything is dry, clean, quiet.
Yeah, slow.
I was waiting for noises like like if you're walking down the street at night and you hear like a twig snap, you turn your head at 90 degrees ready to fight, right? Like that instinct. I don't get that in horror. In this,
that's what Sketch is. Sketch is making fun of that. Sketch is more of a horror movie than Weapons.
I do remember towards the beginning of Sketch, it had a couple of those.
That's what Sketch does, but it's making fun of that because it's like, oh, this is not a horror movie, but we're pretending it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with this, when the mom walks out of the house with the scissors, I was like,
good.
wake up, go. Like, I was like, wake up, bitch. Like, it just didn't happen.
And then it zooms in, and you're like, you didn't lock the door?
Wait. You fall asleep in your car without locking your doors? In front of a creepy house that you know there's, like, zombies in? Oh, my God. And then when she gets in, I'm like, and the scissors come out, I'm like, there's no way she's living through this. And she just took her hair, like that was the right level of like.
And then to say, hey, we're not going to tell you what happens next. We're skipping to a new perspective, you idiots.
Yep. Oh,
and I like that it was held back for a trump card.
Yeah.
I like that because it shows the planning. It implies the ant's intelligence, which I do like.
Which at that point we hadn't even been introduced to the ant, so we're like, "What the heck is good?" Like all we have is kids disappeared. This one kid that didn't disappear, and like she sneaks over to his house, like he's quiet, and like she sneaks over to his house and sees that his parents are like. So you're starting to think maybe the kid is in on this or something like that, or what? Because like then the mom comes out and takes her hair. You're like, what the heck is going on? Because you're still like so fresh to the perspective of what the story is. But then, when it comes in later, you're like, oh, that's what's going on.
But you're absolutely right. Like everything, it's slow. Like the parents in the house at the end with the lines of salt, that's all just like.
Oh, that bit where as soon as the foot hits and they start running, that was a great, jump scare. I mean, much more than just a jump scare. It was here's something big gonna happen.
I think the only time there's an actual like jump scare is when Josh Brolin is in the basement with the kids, but you also know it's happening because she wasn't upstairs, so she jumps out and she jumps out and grabs his necklace or whatever, and then it doesn't even show you until he comes running back up, and now he's a zombie too. Like
it cuts away from it doesn't show you that happening, but you know what's gonna happen.
But I feel like
you know what's going to happen, and at the very least, when he comes up, you suddenly know what has happened.
But there is like gore in the movie, but I don't even feel like this is a horror movie. I feel like this is a suspense movie.
It's a thriller with horror elements.
It's a thriller, yeah.
And again, a lot of those horror elements of a witch and like the possession and
it's hocus pocus. It's hocus pocus for big boys.
Yeah,
that's really good.
But so good. And then what gore? Like the gore in this movie, it's the one scene of the head bashing the head in, and then
which it doesn't linger on. It lingers on the motion.
It doesn't even show you. Yeah, it shows you a little bit, but most of it's off camera.
And she shaves Paul.
Yeah, that was gross.
And then like the principal hunting them down, but it's not really like gore.
That by itself isn't gory, except for what led to that, which we see earlier. And again, there's not a ton of that.
And then her demise.
And what happens to him? Because he gets hit by the car, and they show the result.
They do.
They show that.
But again, and then her demise is the most gory thing. And boy, was that gory!
I will make a very bold statement and say that I genuinely thought that her death was on par, arguably to some degree better than the death of the evil tyrannical military dude from Day of the Dead.
I haven't seen Day of the Dead.
He gets in camera, the guy gets ripped in half by the zombies.
Nice.
And they just pull him apart, and it's crazy how well they pulled that off.
They're using their teeth.
They start eating.
Yeah.
It's not just they rip her apart.
Which you see all of her limbs scattered around them before they start tearing into it.
Now, this has nothing to do with the actual movie, but my experience in the theater was special. I was in the back row and I sat like one seat apart from when I always buy my tickets like last minute, and I try and buy a seat not touching anybody because I'm antisocial, and I'm also fat, and so I don't like spilling over the armchair into the other person. Like, I'm very conscious about. I'm not that fat, but like I feel like I am, and I don't want to be a bother to other people. So I made sure that there was a spot between me, and then there was 4 seats in the back row because it was right next to like the handicap seats, right? and in the theater I go to has the really big, comfy reclining seats, and so 4 people away. So it was 2 girls and then a couple, and the couple, I've never had that experience of that couple in a theater that were shouldn't be there until this movie. The dude smuggled in a 40, was drinking, smoking, vaping, and getting frisky with his woman, and they left 40 minutes into the movie.
This is not the right movie to be doing that to.
But they were being quiet, but the girl sitting next to them switched seats, came over to sit by me, and I was like, am I getting flirted with? What's going on? Because I couldn't hear them very well.
Is this my opportunity?
I was like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm a married man. Please. I'll protect you.
Oh, no.
Look,
Whoops. It came off my finger.
I'll protect you during this scary movie, but I'm a married man, okay? But she came over, and these 2 girls, like they weren't girls, they were women, probably 20s, maybe 30s, probably 25-ish.
He says for the official story,
sitting next to these 2 women made the movie so much better. Because I was grinning from, I don't get scared very much from movies because I know they're fake. I don't get riled up, but I enjoy scary movies for the art, and the entire movie and the tension is what gets me more than gore. And this movie was very tense. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, tell me what's next. Like, what's going to happen? But I don't get scared. But I love it when people do. And those 2 ladies, God bless their hearts. They were so just engrossed with this movie. They kept saying, what the like they were swearing and like just like jumping in their seats, and there are so many moments in this movie that are just like, what is going on? And they made the experience so much better. So I'm sorry that they had to experience 40 minutes of pure disrespect.
Yeah,
but like
not something to do with the movies at all. Definitely not to this movie. Holy crap, that was a weird choice.
I think the real question is, did they leave? How long until they came back?
They didn't. They never came back.
Oh, all right.
They just left.
I would.
He
left
his
really
40.
hard. It was like
he left his 40 on the floor.
Wow.
It was bizarre. I've never. I don't understand how that happens. I don't know how you can get frisky in a movie theater. Everyone can see. But
he must have really got off to her wig.
They didn't even see it. It started. So they made it to the end.
40 minutes in. Yeah. They wouldn't have met Gladys yet.
They made it to the principal. It started the principal story, and they got up and walked out. It was like, it got to the part where it was gonna explain the movie. It was finally gonna give us answers, and you walked out.
They saw Kathy Griffin and were like, ugh, and then they left.
By the way, as soon as you said, they must have really gotten off to her wig, my first thought was going back to Naked Gun, and when like they'll throw a wig at Leslie Nielsen, and they'll be like, oh, because that's like the exact kind of wig that she has.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten to Naked Gun yet. I watched that one last, so.
Well, I'm talking about even in the original.
He had that.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway. But that
it was so
and
funny.
and here's the thing too is, like you said, it mixed in humor so well. Not only what we'll talk about with the very end, but like the bit with Jesse, and I think Jesse's where you really the junkie is where you really get some of that extra humor too.
Best part of the movie, oh my goodness, and
Well,
that's when the whole movie
and the
clicks
bit where
into
he's like,
place.
You're not gonna go in and like collect the reward without me, are you? Oh man, and like, he's just locked there in the back of the car.
Okay.
That was like I wasn't laughing out loud, but that was a very amusing bit.
Like, talk about like performances. Talk about performances in this movie. The Silver Surfer was great. Josh Brolin is Josh Brolin. He's not gonna phone it in. He's great. And they were the weakest links in this movie. And they were phenomenal.
Yeah. They still ended up being the focus of it, so I don't know if I would have
the principal was Wong, right? Was fantastic. The
his look when he came
Han
through.
Solo getting stabbed with heroin needles was so good, and then the junkie. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, I know what drugs look like. I'm from the Breaking Bad place. Okay. Bravo. Like, give him an Oscar. He was pitch perfect in like a tweaker, just junkie.
They didn't overplay it, but they just hit it.
And it was funny. His character was funny and also just depressing. Like, you're looking at it and you you feel so bad, and it's funny at the same time. Like this movie,
like when he slips off of the thing, like he was trying to do the window, and hey, please stop! And you're like,
yeah,
again,
like,
it's sad, but also like
balance.
it's an amusingly presented.
I think this movie is perfectly balanced in like every way. The characters, like the balance between the comedy and the scary and the drama and the character work, like it's just and him. Oh my god, it's just. Breaking into the house.
It never breaks its scale. It stays right where it needs to.
Yeah. Well, but it keeps going. It keeps going. Ooh, ha, ooh, ha. It's a dance. It's a dance. It's a scale. Is your heart heavier than a feather? Ooh, maybe. I don't know.
Here's another great example of where they balanced that was okay. So they're finally Justine and Arthur or whatever his name is get into the house, and they're being attacked by Paul the cop and the junkie, and the Josh Brolin constantly just chucking the junkie across the room.
It was its own comedic scene.
And it's like the rule of three with comedies. Like, it's only funny for the 3 times.
No,
but then
he does it
sometimes
7 times.
They'll do it like 10 times, and it gets funnier. Like, but it's such a scary, intense, like not scary, but like an intense scene that it has just the right current of like humor behind the like, he'll be down for a second, and then there he comes back again, and then. Then he comes back and
they're also showing the wear and tear on Brolin, because it's like the second or last one he smashes James in the face, and he's like holding his hand like he broke his knuckles, like and then he gets jumped again and he can't hold him.
That's the thing is that sequence does so many things, because it shows the intense attack, it shows a little bit of humor, it shows him wearing down, so you're getting the storyline of that, like. Such a beautifully done sequence with that it did so many things all at once.
The fact that like they're working together, but like even their goals are vastly different. Like the girl is trying to solve the mystery and he's trying to find his son, and he gets rid of his attacker and doesn't even like care if she's okay. She gets rid of her attacker and then goes and helps him right? Yeah. And then he's literally strangling her, snaps out of it, tosses her to the ground, and goes to look for his son. Doesn't give a crap about her, and because it's real. That's what I'm like. I would be like, "You okay? I don't care. Where's my boy?" Right?
Yeah.
So good.
I love the I love the way they handle it because it's not a instantaneous snap out of like, I'm totally fine. Huh, I wonder what I was doing. No, there's a lingering effect to things because when he drops Justine, like you can see he looks down at her and like realizes what's happening and he's horrified by it, but then he's like, my son, because he saw him, and then he goes right away. Right, and
because the last thing that he did was he had seen his son before she attacked him, and then took him over.
Do you love that he turns around the black kid? Is that my boy? Oh no!
And then Justine goes upstairs to look for Alex.
Yeah, because that's what she cares about. She cares about the boy.
Yeah, exactly. And the parents are traumatized. They ended up in wherever because I think Alex said that they were getting spoon-fed by someone who wasn't Alex.
They're getting
anymore.
fed soup by someone else.
Yeah,
it's not Alex doing the narration. It's a random girl.
Yeah, it's some other.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Justine or Alex.
It's a girl. It's someone who's like a couple years younger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's the same one from the beginning who's talking about the story of the town.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
This is a story.
And the kids are all standing over Gladys like, what?
Yeah. Well,
Because
they'd also been sucked on.
They've been out for a long time, and they're not like standing over Gladys looking at her. They're just now like their instructions have been wiped clean. They have nothing.
Right, and they're nonverbal for a long time. Right.
They're no longer under anyone's control, let alone their own. There's no lights on behind the curtains.
And I do like how the movie does just sharply end. In the same way Werewolf in London
doesn't linger too long. It doesn't explain. I mean, what's left to explain? It's just like, hey, this is the end. Like
the story's done.
This is the end of the story. Yeah.
Again, it drives me nuts as a lore guy because I want to know more. But at the same time,
what else do you tell?
Yeah, because if you over explain it, then it takes away the mystery.
It's like, hey, that's the story.
I wanted a hair more explanation of what was going on with it.
What are you still doing here? Go home. Go.
The reality is that they're not going to give you a hair more explanation. They're either going to give you exactly what they gave us, which is perfect, which is great,
or they're going to give some of the kids have just started talking again.
Barely started talking now. Mm-hmm.
That's man,
they did good.
And that stampede of the kids through the houses was, but like you cut from like the terror of being in the stampede and the like intensity of that, and then you cut out to like the people in the town
just laughing,
the lady just run across, and then all these kids, which is like
the entire theater was like laughing in relief. It was like this is like it was just like pure unadulterated adrenaline. I've never felt adrenaline like that. And it wasn't from the scary part. It was from the kids chasing down the witch, and you're just like, get her, yes, like go.
I don't think anyone was laughing out loud, but there was definitely a degree of like, this is
it was the uncomfortable. It was the I can't. I don't know what else to do with my body.
And they didn't play any music.
Yeah.
Just screaming, guttural screaming as this woman is desperately trying to escape them, runs through house after house after house.
Josh Brolin following the breadcrumbs. I wonder where Hansel and Gretel went. Maybe through this house. Dude,
my wife
having the kids smashing through the windows too was just like, like these kids are like, one of them probably just like sliced open a jugular or something.
Right. And the dad too in I think it was the first house, because like the old woman runs through and they're like, what the hell was that? And then the kids come through and I don't know if you noticed the family, the father in the kitchen just drops into the fetal position to guard himself as the kids run over him.
I missed that.
Oh yeah,
my favorite part though,
and they were like reacting differently as each thing came through.
My favorite part is when
Josh Brolin came through.
Yeah, when Josh Brolin's like, get away! He's like, no.
There's a bit. I'm looking for my son. Yeah, but. Yeah, I missed him.
From my kids. I think the mom like screams that, right? Like
and then the and then it switches over. So you have all the cartoony, here she is running in the background, and then there's a mob of kids, but then it jumps into like this is the kill cam, and it goes to the over the shoulder camera of the girl who runs through, smashes through the screen, smashes through the glass
Tackles
door,
her.
and then jumps. And then while she's going through the house, leads her off through the window and intercepts her. And she's not even worried about the one that's holding her down because she sees the mob smash through the front of the house.
They tell you they go in straight lines towards where they hone their missiles. They're not going to go. They're not going to weave through the door.
We found why it's called weapons.
It's called weapons.
We found it. It only took us 3 hours and 13 minutes, but we did it.
No, like I understand. I get the name of the movie more than the floating AR-15.
Yeah, AK-47, but yeah,
it's AK-47. But I don't. It wasn't an AK-47.
It was an AK.
No, I disagree. I thought it was an AR-15.
Oh man! And one thing I'll say too, though, is my wife and I, as somewhat recent home owners, were like, "Oh man, those poor people with their homes. Like, insurance isn't going to cover that. Are you kidding me? Dang it, that would suck."
Does this count as an act of God? What is this?
Right.
Well, they're going to have the plant.
The witch. The what?
The witch plant.
Oh, the witch plant.
Because remember, she brought over that giant potted plant of thorny leaves, and that's at the house.
That's sort of what it came from. Yeah.
Oh, that's where she's breaking the twigs off of. Okay.
Yeah,
they're magic twigs too. It's not just a stick.
Because the thorn. Yeah,
I missed.
Oh yeah. So in Alex's backstory, he looks out the window, and Gladys is like a shambling mess, right? Because she's weak.
It wasn't brown.
And he also pulls out this giant potted plant, and when Alex is looking through the room, when he opens the door, as it pans, there's this black plant with these thorns and thorny leaves.
That's where he grabs the twig from that was sitting in the pot.
Yeah, and that's how he gets it against her.
And when she calls him into the room to say, "Hey, I need you to get these other kids from school or whatever," she's sitting there like in front of her plant doing some stuff or like messing with it or something like that. Yeah.
I know this. Okay. Man, the kid. What a great actor too. The kid.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Watching his parents get stabbed in the face with forks.
Yeah,
I was when it started his thing and it started getting to it. I was like, how on earth did the police not interview this family? And then it tells you, and I was like,
oh my she's gosh. Sick. Like, he's recovering.
Sends him out into the woods. Yeah. She doesn't do any of the work. She forces the kid to vacuum up the house and make it clean. I was like, that Alex is it broke my heart, man. Like man, have kids and then watch this movie again. I think you'll like it even more, or hate it even more.
But
this I cannot stop thinking about this movie.
Oh, that was the other thing. Another thing I did dislike was, for basically no good reason, because there's no context to this. The first time you see Gladys is in Justine's Nightmare, and then in Archers.
It's not just it's the kid wearing the makeup of the lady.
No. So that's the first half of the dream, because he sits up and he's got that, and that's in the trailer.
Right, we're getting into the dream.
She has a continued nightmare because she wakes up and she looks at the ceiling and Gladys is on the ceiling. Okay. And then she wakes up again and she's actually awake. So there's that, and then Archer has another dream. Yeah, that was a detail I forgot to add about, like, hey, it says witch on the side of the car, right? Yeah, it's such a minor problem compared to all of the positives of the movie. It's still a negative. I want to be fair to point that out. I don't like that it gives that away too quickly, but
you don't really know what it is.
You don't really think about it too much.
That you're having given away that the witch was written on the side of her car by Josh Brolin's character. You've started to get into the other mystery of what is actually going on here that is different than, like, you're still not sure if they're connected necessarily or if it's just people messing with her. And then you start seeing, again, the flash of her in the nightmare, and then you get to him and his nightmare, and like you're starting to that's where, to me, it's like that shift. And there is a reveal, or there's a losing some of the pieces of that mystery that they set up towards the beginning, but it's while it's being replaced with the rest of the other pieces of it that as it's transitioning from one to the other.
But which lady gave such a good performance too? Gladys, right?
I think so,
Her
yeah.
her going to the school and talking to the principal, like, who made the complaint? Who was it? I can't tell you that, man. I can't tell you, but like, it was her, wasn't it? like we know who it was. Like, oh.
Yeah, and to be fair, all of my complaints at this point are basically me flicking boogers at a bowling ball. Like it's a perfectly solid core. I do have gripes, but they are minor compared to the amount of gold that you pull. Like if this is a plate of gold, there's a couple nuggets of lead on the end, right? Like they're so minimal.
Hey, that's panning, baby. That's what you got.
And it's one of those things that for me, when I look at some of those pieces, and I can kind of agree with where you're coming from with a lot of those. For me, it's like it doesn't actually take away from the plate being such a golden piece. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it is so good. It's one of those things where it's like, I
problems.
recognize that. I do think that those could have been interesting to add in there, but honestly, it's great as it is, and I can't really say I wish it was different. You know?
It's like complaining about the quality of the mechanical shark in Jaws. It's so minor compared to the rest of the good movie, like because it's so good otherwise, like generally speaking. So it's okay.
Have you had time to think about it? Like, can you think of like a horror thriller movie you like more?
Alien is like the only one that comes to mind.
That's a sci-fi thriller. Okay, yeah, Alien's great. But like a grounded movie, like, I'm trying to think of my favorites. Seven is a detective movie, but it's a thriller.
Oh,
right?
The Thing.
The Thing. Oh, okay.
The Thing is a
movie.
Damn good one.
That's a good one.
I think Jaws is more akin to this one because it's more thriller. It has horror elements in it.
Have you seen What Lies Beneath? That one, I love that one. I like Weapons more. Weapons is better.
I remember really liking the first Conjuring a lot in that way, like in a way where it's like, oh, it's interesting the story behind this.
Okay, yeah. Watching a trailer for The Conjuring Last Rites before I got to watch the Naked Gun Part 7, after having sat through Weapons, I was just like, man, the difference in quality, like, this is just so generic, vanilla, pasty, white, I just came out of the frickin' French Laundry, okay? And you're trying to sell me the seventh installment of a spooky doll movie. Go die. I was not impressed.
The first one was really, really good, and I've enjoyed the rest of them. The first one was
okay.
My story with Pan's Labyrinth is,
which one's
I
better?
had friends that really liked the movie Labyrinth in high school, and so they told me to go watch it, and the only thing I found was Pan's Labyrinth, and I'm like, it's the same thing.
Pan's Labyrinth, definitely a thriller, not really a horror. I
think it's more horror than thriller. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Bashing a guy's face in with a pistol and the monster. It's pretty. Yeah, it's a horror movie.
I think this movie is really comparable to It Follows in terms of the overall vein of horror that it is.
Okay, I think it's better. It Follows is fine.
I'm not arguing quality. I'm saying this is in the same
Okay.
Yeah. And Smile was another one that I kind of liked that had a similar, because it's obviously one that people talk about.
I think in terms of quality, it's the same quality as Pan's Labyrinth. Which one you like better, that's like taste.
Might be
taste.
Do
you like do you like bedtime stories more, or do you like not trusting your neighbors more?
I'm looking at lists to try and find actual horror movies to compare, and I can't find one that genuinely
I think this is my favorite horror movie, man.
Yeah, because a lot of these are putting Get Out at the top, and it's like, piss off. Get Out is terrible.
I like Get Out. This movie doesn't even compare. This movie makes Jordan Peele look like an amateur. I haven't
okay,
seen.
So
okay,
how
I
about
have.
Halloween?
I've seen Get Out's good. I haven't seen Us. I liked. Nope.
Us is terrible.
I liked Nope. It was fine. It's nothing to write home about.
Yeah, Nope.
That's kind of how I feel, and those are the only ones I've seen as well. I saw Get Out, liked it. I thought it was pretty well done, and didn't see Us, but I did see Nope and thought it was okay. Yeah.
The problem is when you type in best horror movies of all time, you get in a bunch of like the gore fest ones, like Saw.
How about how about? I do think that overall this is a far better movie, but I will argue Nosferatu as a better movie. But what do you think about the horror elements
of Nosferatu?
Yeah, the remake.
I haven't.
One.
I haven't seen it yet.
The recent one. I didn't see the recent one.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
I highly recommend it. But if you get a chance, I'd like to revisit the subject on that. Then
I think I like this movie about as much as Silence of the Fricking Lambs, man.
I think I like this one better than Silence of the Lambs.
That one's hard to beat, though.
I've only seen Silence of the Lambs recently, like 5 years ago, maybe, or something like that, and only the one time. I thought it was good, but yeah.
I think it's better than
I'm
The Shining.
so sick and tired of seeing Pearl
didn't have that,
and X on these lists. Those movies are so stupid.
I saw the first one, and it was. I mean,
yeah, man, Alien's so good. I think it's better than The Shining. It's better than Lost Boys is a comedy. That's not a horror movie. Screw up.
The Lost Boys is a horror.
I've heard good things about Event Horizon. Is it just horror? Is it just gore though?
No. It's not. It's not just.
I know it gets really gory.
There are scenes that are definitely gory, like the dream. That scene. Anyway, it's not. It's not like all gore.
I think I like this. It might just be recency bias. I think I like this movie than all of M. Night Shyamalan's best ones, and I love those. I love Shyamalan's.
And I've only seen. I saw Sixth Sense after. Obviously, everybody knew the twist and everything like that. So I saw it as a second watch, even though it was my first time. And I'd say this is good. That was good, and it's worthy to be put on a list similar to this. But I do think
psychological horror. Okay, yeah, I know it's weird. I know it's weird.
I'm really trying. I'm really trying to find.
Get Out the one where the white family puts the yes. But mostly black people.
I'm really trying to find something that I think actually compares, and I cannot find what I would consider to be genuine, crazy good horror.
It's also hard because they're the ones that compare to it in quality don't really compare in style, you know.
I'm looking for things that I think are better fitting to the scale and the style. I'm trying to find
scales
lists.
A super important one too. You know, you can I get it. You can obviously do something different with an alien in a spaceship in space than you can in a town, in a house.
Yeah.
I think scale wise, What Lies Beneath is pretty comparable. I think that's a really, really great thriller movie. That's more thriller than horror, and I think this movie's better. I love What Lies Beneath. I
haven't seen.
Ford.
Oh, okay.
I haven't and Michelle
seen,
Pfeiffer. Watch What Lies Beneath. Great. This movie's better.
I'll try to add that to the list. I haven't seen Evil Dead Rise. Apparently, is
that the remake one?
No. That's the recent. That's the most recent.
Oh, yeah. The one with the mom.
Yeah, in the condo building or whatever.
Watch the mom go bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I heard that one was crazy intense. But looking through all of this, it's Scream, Nope, Candyman, Predator's on the list, but Predator's not so much a horror as much as it is an action movie. Yeah. Dog Soldiers is very good. Dog Soldiers is awesome. It's a British werewolf movie. These guys are out on a training mission and they're using non-lethal weapons, and then they end up being they're out training and a pack of werewolves falls upon them and they have to hold out in a farmhouse. Right. It's great.
Well, now I have to watch
low budget movie.
11-14 and Dog Soldiers. Okay.
11-14 is very much the style of storytelling. Goofy shit happens. People try to figure out their problems.
Is
Dog Soldiers, I will contest to my dying breath is probably my top 3, if my personal number 1 werewolf movie.
Okay. Is The Omen good, or is it just trying too hard to be The Exorcist?
The Omen is very situationally scary. Like it's the devil is influencing these characters around Damien very clearly because he is the Antichrist. It's not I would say it's probably in the same vein as Weapons, but it's more distinctly demonic rather than witch-y, which is still demonic, but it's not quite the same.
Jeremy, that movie's a comedy. That's not a horror. Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
no,
not
it's
that
not.
one.
It's rated R. It's not PG-13. There's an R-rated version and an unrated version. Did
Quiet
they make a
Place
PG-13 cut? Hold on.
It might have been the original theatrical cut.
Was there a theatrical PG-13 version?
don't
I remember no, because I saw the trailers and I was like, I really want to see this, and then it was rated R, so my parents wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I remember that same thing with Hansel and Gretel. I thought that was one where it was like, oh, that'd be kind of interesting to see. But
if there's a that's
how would you compare this to the original Halloween?
I haven't seen the Halloween movies.
Really? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
The Others, that's a good horror.
The Others is one that I remember really like. That one was one of my early this is a good horror movie that I really enjoyed because it wasn't so much like gory or like over the top jump scares, but it definitely had some creepy.
It's just
spooky,
a good story.
Elements.
It's just a good story.
Yeah.
I hate the Quiet Places on these lists. Quiet Place sucked.
The first one was okay. You know what movie I actually really liked? I ended up watching it like 10 years after you were supposed to, when it came out, when you were supposed to watch it. I think The Ring is a great movie. Visually,
I gotcha.
Like the cinematography in that movie is actually like really freaking good. Like the editing and the way they put that movie together is really freaking cool. I like The Ring.
So,
I genuinely am struggling to find any movie that I think like in terms of quality. I would say a movie like The Shining is better, but I don't know if I would say that it's done in as good a way as a horror film. The Thing and Alien are literally like the only two that come to mind as like actual horror movies. Otherwise, if we're talking thriller with horror elements like Weapons, then something like Jaws. But again, we're talking the absolute extremes.
I keep bringing up Seven, but because it's like a detective movie, it's a mystery movie too. That's like also like it's not really horror, but it's pretty horrific. You know, pretty equally gruesome, maybe. You know, or like Sixth Sense is kind of on the same scale.
Yeah, that's why I'd put it on the list, but I don't think it's on. I think Weapons is better.
I like go watch Weapons. It's
An American Werewolf in London.
I saw the movie on Tuesday. Wednesday, I wanted to go back to the theater and see it again.
Texas
I love
Chainsaw
this
Massacre.
movie.
Yeah, you have to really go and find like the extreme. Like
now, I want to see the toned down version of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
And other ones that I would consider to be fairly good are not like dedicated horror, like Cabin in the Woods or Evil Dead. It's like they have a lot of comedy in them, and even ones that I really like, I don't know if I would necessarily put them on the same level, like In the Mouth of Madness.
Did I hear you mention the Evil Dead Rise, the newer?
Yeah.
Yes.
sequel?
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I was curious if
I
someone
haven't
else
seen
had.
any of them, but,
Okay. So
it
story
looked
time.
creepy. Though.
When I was a kid, I could not handle scary movies. They would give me nightmares. And I watched the last movie that pee my pants scared me. Was Darkness Falls.
the Tooth Fairy one?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
But I was like 10 or 12, you know? Man, that movie terrified me. I literally, the night I watched it, I couldn't sleep. I I slept in my parents' bed. Like I went in, I'm like, I cannot fall asleep. My mom like told me stories until I fell asleep. I must have been younger than 10. I must have been like 8 or 9, maybe. I don't know why they let me watch Darkness Falls.
Yeah, 7's here on
but
this
like
list.
I couldn't sleep, and then for the next week, I was scared of the dark. I literally had to like say my prayers at night to help me not be scared. I was like, please God, like don't let me get eaten by spooky monsters. Like I know that in my brain is telling me that everything is fake, but my body is physically like I'm so terrified of the dark right now. I was so scared, and then after a week of that, I sat down and I was like, we still had the movie. We'd rented it, and we still hadn't returned it yet. Because like back then, you could rent a movie for like 2 weeks. You know. I sat down and I was like, this movie terrified me, but I also really liked it. And I sat down and I just told myself like everything in this is fake. And I sat down and I watched it a second time a week later, and loved it. And I was just like, I enjoyed it as a film, and ever since then, since I was like 9 years old, I have not been scared by a movie. Like something in my brain just clicked, like oh, this is art. This isn't like I don't know.
This isn't real. It's just a
Darkness Falls is a great movie, dude. Yeah. If your finale involves lighting your arm on fire and punching a ghost in the face, that's a good movie. Okay. Cabin Fever. There's a remake of that too, right?
I believe so.
Haven't seen either one.
All I'm thinking of is Muppet Treasure Island, and we've got Cabin Fever.
Dude, well, thanks for coming on the show. I always love talking to you, Albelio. I love you too. Yeah. I'm sorry I made you watch Alien.
Yeah, I'll be back next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, man.
Yeah, I have looked at multiple lists of 100+ movies of 100+ horror movies. I literally can't find one like other genuine like wow horror movies.
Ooh, you know it's a good movie. You know how like in the 2000s, all the movies came in pairs.
Yes.
You would have the studios would copy
Bugs
each other.
Life and Ants. Yeah.
You had Dante's Peak, and then you had Volcano in the same year.
Yeah.
Like 2 studios randomly decided to make a movie about evil volcanoes. You know, they were always coming in 2s.
I think.
And the one year, 2005. Let's take a journey back to 2005. The movie that was critically acclaimed was Flight Plan. Is that Sandra Bullock?
I think so.
Not a bad movie. Like pretty good story about a girl, her flying on a plane with her son, and her son like goes to the bathroom and never comes back, and the entire plane is trying to gaslight her and tell her that her son doesn't exist.
Wasn't there a?
But he's been kidnapped by like terrorists.
One of those.
Oh, and maybe it was Jodie Foster. Yeah, I think it was Jodie Foster.
That was 2005. Oh my goodness, I remember seeing the trailers for that one.
Flight Plan, great movie, but the twin is Red Eye. It's Cillian Murphy and
I
it's
remember
Cillian
that.
Murphy and the Notebook. Rachel McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
Red Eye is great. I love Red Eye. So it's less of a psychological thriller and more of just like a regular thriller. Do you use Jodie Foster? Yeah, you're right. I liked both of those movies. I wish we could go. I want studios to do that again. I want copycat movies, maybe.
So you can compare and contrast them. Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because they're like, hey, if the other one's good and ours isn't, people will get confused and see it anyway. But then sometimes you had a situation where they were both good, and you're like, okay, yeah. I get 2 airplane thrillers this year. This is fun. Mm-hmm. I like Secret Window, and a lot of people hate that movie Johnny Depp. I think
where it turns out he's the killer.
I think that's a fantastic thriller movie. Where did you stop? Where did you jump off the M. Night Shyamalan train?
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water? Okay.
I actually only kind of jumped on the train around Lady in the Water and Village. And I was like, well, screw this. And so
I liked more of his movies than most people do.
Yeah,
everyone started people started complaining about Signs, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, Signs is fantastic." Yeah, and a bunch of people complained about The Village too, and I was like, "I really liked The Village. That one, that one got me back. That one actually did scare me a little bit, and that was after Darkness Falls. After I'd and that one got me spooked again. I was like, "Ooh, baby, that's good."
The thing with The Village was so there were two pieces of it. The first was they revealed who the scary bad guy was halfway through the not even halfway through the movie. That it's actually just the village leaders dressing up or whatever.
But it worked. It was fun.
I was at the age where for me, I was sitting there going, I know they're going to try to jump scare me, and then they tried to jump scare me, and of course you get a little bit of a but I'm like, I knew it was going to come, and I knew you were going to do it, and it's just that was where I started having the little bit of complaint of the overused, jump scare thing where it's like, come on, just stop it, it's dumb. And then the other thing is
this is absolutely the correct place to jump off the train, though. Okay.
It also the other thing is the other plot twist of The Village was something that I'd read in a book 3 years before and was done so much better in the book. The whole concept of they're in a medieval park area, but with that one they're actively being watched. They're part of some attraction or whatever. But the one girl has to leave the place to get medicine and try to get medicine from the people or whatever. I think it's called About Time or In Time or something like that. And it's a much better book than what The Village did, because The Village also was trying to do this spooky scary thing that it completely forgot about halfway through the movie because it decided to do something else. I have heard a lot of other people defend The Village as a better movie, but
I liked
for
it.
me it was just nah.
I'm looking at horror movie lists. I just now realized something about myself, but Dark Water, I think
a shark movie
was no. It was a horror movie that was basically just trying really hard to be The Ring. It was trying to be The Ring or The Grudge, but it couldn't decide, and it actually was just a complete ripoff of the plot of The Grudge, which wasn't even a good movie. But it did have Jennifer Connelly in it, so you could watch the whole thing and it was fine. But that was one of the movies that it turned me into a film critic because I hated Dark Water.
I will also tell you. So Lauren Savage in the chat is asking about, are you talking about Old? We haven't yet, but goodness, Old. I do not like that movie. That was such a garbage movie.
It's a really interesting premise that's just completely wasted, and
interesting concept that they barely even
constantly contradicts itself with this works sometimes, and they don't even play with the interesting thing in a fun, interesting way.
The most cliched characters that they have the most cliched lines to try to over explain who they are. I did not like Old.
It just seemed non-special. Okay, I was a little bit younger, so Village spooked me.
Yeah, I'd have been a little bit younger too. I think we're the same age, Alan. So
yeah, I think you're maybe how old are you?
Because we were both born in '89, right?
I'm 34, I think.
I'm 35, so I'm just barely older than you.
So you're right in between David and I. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old. Okay. There is an M. Night Shyamalan one. He didn't direct it, but he wrote it. But Devil is actually pretty good, and it happened after Avatar and before he gained some of his respect back with
Glass, or no, not Glass, the other one,
Split.
Split. Yeah.
Some people. I never watched the grandparents one, the like found footage one.
The Visit.
But people said that was really good, and then
I think I have watched that one, and I kind of liked it, but I don't remember loving it.
I remember liking Split, but Devil is actually pretty fun. It's a fun bottle episode.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Did you watch
single location? Everyone's locked in one room. It's an elevator, but I liked Devil.
So you've seen like Unbreakable, because I still haven't even seen Unbreakable.
Dude, Unbreakable's phenomenal.
I've heard it's great. I just haven't gotten around to it. Like
Unbreakable's phenomenal, and then Split was like, wow, are we back?
Yeah.
And then
Glass apparently just tanked it.
And then Glass shattered it.
Wow.
There you go, much better.
I was like, can he do this? Like, is he gonna like the twist at the end of Split was like, oh, it's the shared universe, and like,
it's the shared universe.
Wait, like that could actually work. Like this could be. Oh my! Wow.
You know the worst part though?
Glass is probably more disappointing than season 8 of Game of Thrones, man.
I was gonna say, the worst part about the Split though is that even worse than the fact that it inspired or led to Glass, I bet you could say that it points to it inspired Argyle, because it has the same kind of level of like trying to have a last second reveal that it's a part of another thing that people actually kind of like.
I hated Argyle.
Oh man, I had a lot of fun with how dumb that movie was, but that movie was so.
By the way, this is part of that much better franchise that I direct.
Like I
what
said,
is the movie?
That's probably the worst outcome of Split was that it actually probably inspired Argyle.
What is the movie where vines eat people on a South American pyramid? I mean,
The Ruins.
The Ruins. Okay, I'm like, I can think of Jumanji. There were some vines in that one. There's that scene in Harry Potter where there's vines.
But South American pyramid ruins, huh?
All right. Well,
before it gets too terribly late, I do want to see if I can talk for a little bit about Mobland. So I don't know if we're ready to move on yet, but I want to see if I can toss in just a few minutes of that, because
we've just been meandering. The show's over. We're just.
Well, I don't want to take us away from the horror
guys
talk.
can leave at any time.
But yeah, I will say, talking about like the intensity and the what was the word we were looking for that we were saying before, the like intensity, that it's not thriller, but it's the tension.
Yeah, tension.
And there was some great tension in that, especially the back half of Mobland. Whew.
Yeah, Mobland builds incredibly. It just keeps building, and it doesn't drop any balls, and then it's juggling the whole time, and you're like, are some of these balls important? And then you're like, no, it all is. Like,
they all come in, and then there's still a handful of them that are like, but could this still mean more? Because like there's the little thing about, like, spoiler alert, Harry being like, oh, Kev and I are taking over, and you kind of think that maybe they really are, but then it kind of twists back to still being him with the Harry. But then he still does kind of like turn them in a little bit, lets them get captured.
It wasn't so much about taking over; it was about like proving that they can,
and again, like Harry being, I am on Kevin's side.
The family's in good hands, like if we need to take over. Oh man, what a great show! I really like Mobland.
The one other one that I wonder is, okay, so his wife stabs him in the end, like
so good.
Inadvertently. Like, but
so good, such a good scene.
He handles this. You're right. Because I was listening to you and Jared talk about it. Like, he just like takes things in, processes them, and then goes, okay. And so he does that exact thing. He's like, okay, nope, we're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I was like, oh.
But so I can't imagine that they're actually going to have him die. But like,
no, it's in his shoulder. It's not. That's not
well,
going to
it's
kill
kind of like it was down like here or something like that.
It's like shoulder peck. Yeah, that's.
I thought it was a little like under his pec. Like, again, not like directly.
It wasn't a very long knife either. Like, he's gonna be okay.
I'm sure he will be, because also he was such the focal point of this show that you can't have the next season be not involving him. Like,
is The Ruins good? This kind of looks fun.
Yeah,
but go on.
This two couples, it's two or three couples go to Central or South American jungle. It's Aztec or Olmec ruins or something like that, and they happen to they get up there, and then these people in the local area keep them on the ruins because the ruins act as
like
a
sacrifice
prison, as a they're doing it well. Yeah, they're being sacrificed in the sense that they're being prevented from getting off the temple at all costs because the plants will eat people and take over and everything. The ruins contain the plants. The plants can't escape the ruins. So people going up on the ruins, it's like, oh crap, it has a chance to get off, or get out. So it's them trying to survive against the plants.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, that is some good prosthetics.
Yeah, there's a good scene where one of the girls gets it like in the legs, and it's like moving under the skin.
Fun. Yeah. Watch Mobland if you haven't. Watch Weapons if you haven't. Although I don't know why you're watching the stream if you haven't watched Weapons, because we spoiled literally every aspect of the film. Yeah. Well, anything else? It's been a 4-hour stream. I knew it was going to be a long one.
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement. So Alien Earth is the best. Weapons is the worst. Don't watch The Naked Gun.
Alien Earth is pretty good. It's no Alien Romulus, but okay. Yeah. That's it.
This has been fun. Thank you for having me again.
Good night. We'll see you guys next week. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining, so please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.